Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 140.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Can I just tell you something?
I was going to get serious off the bat, but if you want to make fun of something of mine, go ahead off the bat. But I wanted to give a shout out real quick because it's coming out tomorrow. And I saw this morning. And, me and you are huge fans of David Pasternak. He's a fucking awesome guy. He is. There's not one bad thing I heard about him in any conversation with any hockey player. And his little boy died, man. And I just want to we're thinking about him and his family, dude, Andy, because you've been through that childbirth. And I don't mean to be gloom off the bat, but I saw it this morning, put a tear in my goddamn eye. Pasta, man, we're thinking about you, dude. This is tough, dude. That's a tough one.
Yeah. So, no, I'm glad you put that out there.
Yeah.
And we'll dedicate this show to David Pasternak.
Yeah, baby. Little boy. Yep. It was like 3 days old though, which is that I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but I believe it is that still called miscarriage or I don't know. But again, we're thinking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
man.
there's no doubt, man.
God damn it. I saw that. I'm like, oh God. My poor girl.
Giving birth, man. Obviously, like for women and whatever. Yeah. It's like a scary situation. I mean, it's a human being that you're bringing into this world, man, and there is so much that goes into it. Listen, I mean, I've been through it 3 times, man. It's like nerve-wracking. It's very emotional. It's very nerve-wracking, and there's people that go through stuff like that, man. And those who haven't are so fortunate, and those who have, man, you just think about these people. I mean, we've been through like miscarriages and stuff like that, which is very emotional for women.
You have?
Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couple times.
That's
couple
right.
times.
That's right.
Couple times.
Yeah. I know what we're talking about. We don't need to get too far into it, but I didn't mean to get you.
No, but to go through the full term of, childbirth or the pregnancy and then to
9
have
months,
a baby, man.
Yeah. You're thinking about you're building, you're having a room set away. You're doing this, like you're talking to your friends, you name it, and then I don't know, man. That was it's tough, dude. It is. And I don't have kids, and I just, fuck me up.
Yeah, you need to have a kid.
Man, do I? Though?
Well, kind of.
What does that mean? Why?
Well, here's because I think you need to learn to compromise some of your time and give attention to someone else besides yourself. You gotta you gotta focus on somebody else at some point.
Well, I have a wife and I have fucking dogs, and why do I need to focus my life on something else? I like thinking about myself. I'm fucking selfish, I guess. I like to do things. I don't go out and I do everything with Kate, by the way. Do I do anything without Kate unless it's like I get invited to have to go do something?
Well, you don't really do a whole lot. I mean, you do like a radio show, and maybe you go golfing or something. And that's kind of the extent of your excitement over there.
What do you do? You go to the rink every day? You go to the rink every day? No.
Where do you live?
I do whatever I want to do, but I don't do a lot without Kate. I'm not that guy. I don't go on vacation. I don't do any of that shit. So Kate and I have a lovely life, dude. We have a good life. Now, do I like her working every day? No. Am I in a spot for her not to work? Not yet, man. But I will be. And I like to do whatever I want to do. And so don't say, you need to have a kid so you get your attention on some. Why? We're fucking doing shit to the house. We're picking up new hobbies. We got fucking this playground around. Why the fuck would I want to change that? To be at the rink every day? I'm just not there mentally yet to do it, man. I don't know if I want to be at the rink.
You don't have to be at the rink. What are you going to do at the rink?
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? What am I going to do at the rink every day? If I have a boy, he's going to be skating every goddamn day. What are you talking about? Or if it's a girl, she's going to be doing something. I wouldn't have my kids just sit around the fucking house, dude. That's for goddamn sure. Now, would I be a good daddy? I think so. But we live a good life, man. I don't know if we want to change it.
What do you think of these kids that don't do anything? They just sit around the house all day long, Cam.
I don't put up with that shit, dude. I don't do it. My dad wouldn't do it. My dad was lenient. My parents are lenient. But if I was sitting around like a fuck boy, hanging out with dipshits, Chaz. Remember I talked about Chaz? If you're hanging out with a Chaz, look in the mirror and think about it. They're all dipshits. No offense, Chaz, if you're not one, but usually they are. And I'm just telling you, man, those guys we want to play video games all day and do drugs and not hang out with chicks and fucking do stupid shit. And I told you, my dad came to me. He goes, "Stop hanging out with those two." And he's like, "They do nothing. They do nothing. They are fucking dipshits." And he was right. And I'm like, okay. I remember quitting AAA, hanging out with those guys. Like, it was all coming crashing down on me. And my dad kicked that fucking door down and goes, stop it. And I did. And we got back into AAA. And I fucking dominated.
Did you dominate?
AAA.
I mean, like, how do you define dominating? Like, would you score like 14 goals?
50 goals and 300 minutes and penalties? I don't know, you stupid ass.
50,
I mean,
50
is that good?
300. I need to see some stats.
That's Don Morehouse then. You don't think I saw those? Ask him.
50 and 300. I don't know if you did that.
Andy, I was getting a penalty every other shift. I was getting kicked out of fucking games. I was getting 10-minute misconducts. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, you know what? Like, you're the guy though. I mean, that would just drive a head coach crazy.
Oh my God!
I don't have time for these kids that are in the box all the time and can't like learn to play discipline without going into the box. Selfish penalties.
I know.
I mean,
man.
it goes back to selfish there, Cam. I mean, this is
Andy,
you're putting yourself ahead of the team.
Andy, I figured it out. Like, I figured it out. I was selfish back then. That's why I didn't get to see. And not selfish, but I was doing my thing, man. Like, I am a selfish guy, but I'm caring for other people. I do think that's true. But, I thought everything revolved around me at the time. No doubt. And anybody, like a lot of guys are like that, whether they want to think so or not, they are. Fuck, Andy, you haven't done shit and you think it's all about you. Who are you kidding? But I certainly felt that way. And I was skating 2-minute minor for sure. But, I figured it out. I didn't get that many penalties with the Blues. I didn't take stupid fuck penalties. The only penalties I took when I played in NHL were hitting penalties and fighting majors. That's it. That's why I never broke 200. But in juniors, I was still learning at the time. But yeah, man. So go fuck yourself.
It's about getting ice time and opportunities and stuff like that too, right? Then all of a sudden your penalty minutes can increase and stuff. Because obviously you got to be on the ice to get penalties sometimes too, man. You just got to wait. You got to be patient. How'd you keep yourself fresh?
You just learn how to be fresh, dude. I mean, you just learn how to just your name's called. You just go. I mean, I'm sitting there like this. Go. All right, blue line's up. Jump over and just fucking go 100 miles an hour. Get it out. Do this, whatever. Hit a couple guys. Talk shit. Look at their bench. Then get off and regroup and figure it out. I was good at just like turning on, turning off, man.
Stanley Cup Final starts tonight, so we can't really like break it down too much.
I know
because there's no game.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to break it down. Who's gonna do this? They're both good. Fuck, I don't know. You know what I mean? Does Tampa have a little bit more goal scoring? Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, they do.
Of course.
Tampa can play really boring though too, man. You know that?
Yeah.
Like they can play so many different ways. They can be exciting, they get on the power play, they do their thing. They've got such high-end individual skill and talent up and down their roster. They're fun to watch, but they can play boring at the same time.
Well, they could shut you down. I mean, they got by a couple, they're going to shut your ass down. Vasilevsky's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Two best goalies going, man. It's awesome. They're going to be fun to watch. Although they're not very exciting goalies as far as like acrobatical, if that's a word. Like Fleury or Marty,
they'll make some crazy saves though, man.
Yeah, but they don't come up with new, like they're just there, Like
no, it's not down at a hot chick, they're not on their back,
No,
they're not, they're just so technically sound, always in position. Yep. I mean, their movements look so easy, look so simple. I mean, they play big.
They do,
like they're just technically perfect goaltenders. They're like perfect, honestly.
You're right. No, that's kind of true. Like they're technically like they're a coach, a goalie coach's dream. Like like Hasek, they're like, what the fuck? Like you don't want to mimic your style as a kid to a Dominic Hasek. I mean, it's just too much. Like you have to be a freak to be able to do that. Even Marty was like that. Like But Vasilevsky, his shoulder pads look so fucking big, dude. Like he just looks like barrel chested. You look at some of these old school guys. Like Marty had like those Cooper shoulders on where they just kind of drift off them. But like Vasilevsky has this like padding right here. He just looks. He takes up so much net that I wouldn't even be able to score him in an alumni game or something.
He looks small next to Robin Leonard. I mean, Robin Leonard looks
well, that's another one. Yeah, he's huge.
I'm already in vacation mode, dude. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Well, you need a vacation, Andy. Honestly, you deserve one, big time.
Yes.
You need to have fun on this Lake Tahoe. I hope you do it right because Lake Tahoe is so badass, and your kids and your wife deserve it too. So don't be fucking cheap, Andy, Don't be fucking stupid, Andy, meaning I'm going to, hire some fucking 18-year-old on a goddamn pontoon boat. Don't do that. What is your setup? Explain it to me and I'll give you criticism, or I'll be like, you did good. You did good.
Okay. Well, I hired there's like a production crew who's going to follow us around and document this vacation.
Don't waste my time.
They're going to document
waste our time, our audience.
The vacation. Listen, one day we're going to Yosemite National Park. Now, this has kind of been on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I've hung out in the redwoods before. I mean, I've spent time underneath the redwoods. In fact, basically,
with those 6 dudes you hung out with all the time? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, no, my wife actually was with me one time with a crew of people. We drove from San Francisco all the way up to Portland, Oregon. I mean, up the Gold Coast of Southern Oregon, which is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. And made our way all the way up to Portland, man. It was an unbelievable drive.
You going to go to Portland now?
Well, we're not going to Portland on this trip. Portland's a beautiful city, though, man. I know there's a lot of shit that goes on.
Not anymore.
Well, listen.
No, fucking joke, Andy.
But let me say this. I mean, some of these cities, man, they get a bad reputation because of the news and whatever.
What the fuck do you expect? They shut down the whole beginning of the city down here.
Well, there's a handful of people that are crazy.
Don't defend that town, dude.
But Cam, it's like what happened with like the Michael Brown situation, Ferguson here in St. Louis. I mean, it wasn't
completely different. It's completely different. Now, I'll explain to you why. We didn't shut down. The police don't even acknowledge anything in downtown. They activated a part. They call it Chaz. No, nonetheless.
Oh yeah, they did.
They took it over, and no one did it. And all these companies and these dude, it's a joke. Now, Portland could be beautiful if they cleaned it up and shit like that, but people are moving the fuck out of there, dude. It's a disaster downtown.
I get it. But I will say, but Portland, Oregon, I don't know how much time you spent in Portland is a beautiful city, man. Oregon is a beautiful state.
Yeah,
I mean,
very expensive.
So listen, it was a crazy time, still is in our country, and you get a lot of people who live in those communities who get a little crazy and whatever, but I don't look at that as much as I look at how beautiful and how green Portland, Oregon is, man. And it's on the coast and whatever. It's a beautiful state. So, I mean,
Keep those glasses on. No, I get you. Yeah. The state's gorgeous. No one fucking denied it. I'm saying,
I mean, are there some crazies? I mean, they had all the protests and all that stuff going on, man. I mean, eventually, hopefully, that'll all go away and whatever. And people can just appreciate the beauty that is the state of Oregon.
Of it, they're not trying to do anything
Dude,
about it.
You know how hot it is up there right now? I mean, they're having like record highs. It's like 100 degrees.
Yes, it is. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to be a fucking forest fire because of that, Every time it gets really hot and really dry, somewhere like that, with all that flammable, those trees and the pines. Oh, my God. So that, you remember, it always happens like Northern California. That spreads all over the place, man. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they get fucking rained on here soon. But yeah, you're right, dude. Big time record-breaking temperatures out there, man. That's tough because a lot of people aren't used to that. It's like when it happens in England where no one has AC in England, right? You don't have AC. There's no AC basically anywhere. Not anywhere I saw. And once it gets really hot there, dude, and it doesn't happen much, but when it does, you're tortured, man.
Yeah. And a lot of those communities, you're right. There is no air conditioning because it doesn't normally get that hot. Listen, Cam, so we're going to Yosemite. And listen, I've always wanted to go to Yosemite. I mean, I've been up Northern California and stuff like that, but I've never been to the park, man. I'm looking forward to it. You had to get a reservation because it's hard to get into the actual park nowadays. So we got a reservation about a month and a half ago. So I've been preparing for this, but like reading up on it, like first off, not just in Yosemite, but where we're going to be in Truckee, California, Truckee, right there.
Truckee, California,
right there in Lake Tahoe, man. It's going to be an unbelievable vacation, man. We're looking forward to that. But there's a lot of bears out there, so I've been reading about what to do with the bears. And I mean, some of these videos, man, some of this stuff I'm reading is like, this is what not to do. And they show a guy like letting a bear like come over and like sniff him. You got like a bear like sniffing him around and stuff. But do you know that inside Yosemite, you're not allowed to bring bear spray? No bear spray allowed. Yeah,
you're not allowed to do anything with bears, man.
Because they treasure the bears. I mean, they want bears to be able to live comfortably in their natural habitat. So they tell you what to do, like, in the event that a bear comes around. Well, you got to be aggressive. You got to be like,
rawr, rawr.
Where
Andy, that bear is you're gonna do that to that bear, and it's gonna be like,
it's gonna piss it off.
No, you're gonna piss it off. You ain't gonna scare it. I'll tell you that. You got a better chance of Ty fucking scaring that damn thing. Yeah. What do you? I'm Andy. Yeah. Bear's gonna be like, get the fuck on.
You got to stay
Jesus.
50 yards away. You don't need to get within 50 yards of the bear. And if you're with a group of people, they even suggest that you lock arms to make yourself look even bigger to over dominate this bear.
Yep.
But I'm not dealing with the bears, Cam. I don't know how I'm going to handle all this if the little Smokey the Bear comes around, and they do this in Tahoe too. They'll come into the village and they want to like sniff your stuff, whatever. You got to make sure that where
you stand, because this is what here's the number one rule. Don't leave food out. Throw your shit away. Tie it up. Get that smell out of there, because they'll come creeping and they'll lean on your goddamn door and they'll bust it down. Are you in like a cabin? Like, where are you at?
No, we're like in a villa. Beautiful villa.
Okay, so like you have other people, you can walk around. Other people around. Okay, cool. That's cool. It'd be cool to be in a cabin too, but not with the kids. I don't think.
In Yosemite, in Yosemite, if we stay the night, which there really isn't much available, but I've got friends who are in the national park business industry, and they say, hey, that's what they do. They give like guided tours, like all down on the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. My buddy has a company. I told you that. They go into Utah, Colorado, whatever. And so he's done a lot of work. He's working in Yosemite with my best friend, whatever. He's actually in Telluride, Colorado right now. And he's done a ton of work in that. So he said he can always make a phone call, whatever, if we needed to stay the night in Yosemite, which I kind of would like to do. But at the same time, I don't know. It's like a 2.5 hour drive, Cam, from where we're staying.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Just to get to the park.
Yeah, but that's not bad. It's a beautiful drive. Pack a cooler. You're fine. But you got 3 kids. So, like, would you go down the Colorado River, which is very sketchy and hardcore? Maybe there's different little areas for kids to go down. I don't really know. I bet you there is. But if you're going to do it, you want to go pretty hardcore. So I don't know if the kids are ready for that yet, right?
Well, in the Grand Canyon, no. I don't think I would take my little kid. I bet you my oldest, Ivy, I bet you she could do it, though. Like, she's badass.
I thought your oldest was Chloe.
Chloe, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Jesus Christ.
Ivy's a great hiker.
Wow.
But I was thinking Ivy, no, she's not going down to the Colorado River. No. Ty probably isn't going down to the Colorado River.
No, Andy. You probably
I don't even know if my wife would go all the way down to the Colorado River.
Scary, man. That thing is fucking hardcore. That Colorado, it's infamous, dude. Dredge that big old cliff. Grand Canyon just carved its way through. That thing's hardcore. Imagine trying to creep down that back in the day without a goddamn raft or anything like that.
So we're going to get on the boat. All those boat suggestions you've been giving me are absolutely terrible. You're talking about like a 40-footer. I mean, Cam, those are like yachts, dude.
No.
Those are like yachts.
And it's like a sea right now at the lake, dude. It's not that big. It's usually 46 foot, actually. But it's all good. This costs a lot of money. So what are you going to do? Just rent a pontoon and drive it yourself?
No.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to have a captain. And I'd like to do a little salmon fishing too, or something.
What kind of boat is it?
Okay, so
what is it? You have to know. You have to have it written down somewhere.
No, but here's the deal. I got to be there because checking out all the different boats and stuff like that. There are so many different options, man. It's overwhelming. Yeah. I got to be there. I got to talk to people down there. Be like, hey, who's the best company to go through? Like, what should I do?
Or what do you expect? What do you think? I don't know how to drive a boat. I'm completely oblivious to any type of water safety, any type of anything when it comes to boats, water, what to do on docking, how to get this, do that. You don't know shit. Say that to somebody and be like, I have 3 kids and a wife too, that I need to be like the man on the boat. So I need to know what the fuck I'm doing. What do you suggest? I would do my research before you get caught in a weird jam. Although it's not, there might be some fucking waves out there, dude. Like, that's a big lake. The wind could pick up. You could get, I don't know, your boat could get rocked. You could get into a jam pretty quick. So I don't want you doing that just to like not have some swinging dick creep you out all goddamn day. So whatever the safety element is, Andy, I say you kind of go down that path.
Are you familiar with cold immersion?
Cold immersion? What is that?
I don't know. People like their body goes into shock when you jump into the lake because the water
goddamn right. That water is cold right off the mountain.
Cold water, dude.
Don't get in that. Cold. I bet you get in. You should get in that. Fucking feels great, man. All those Russian guys are swimming up in fucking Siberia all the damn time. Like, your body can handle it. You're just gonna go through shock. They'll wake you the fuck up, though, boy. Woo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like cold water, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It wakes you up.
I'll probably bring my wetsuit. Okay.
Wetsuit.
I know. I'll probably bring the wetsuit.
You're not in the Bering Sea.
But
it's gonna be hot too. It'll be warm.
I don't know about you, but I like going places that I've never been before, man. I like checking out new places, especially places that are like considered like some of the more beautiful spots in the country, man, and try to find it. And I always end up going out west, man. I like the western part of the country more so than going east.
I hear you.
And especially in the Pacific Northwest, even going a little bit higher, whatever. And you know, but this, Northern California, man, people don't even realize like it's easy to get to. It's beautiful. California is a cool ass state, man. People think of California, but like it changes.
You're so goofy.
Southern California.
If you live there,
like
and see if you like it, Andy. You'll live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Get out of here with your
I realize
lack of knowledge on some
it's
shit.
expensive, dude. I
So
know
horrible.
that. But it's a beautiful state, dude.
To go visit. Yeah.
Yes. I'd live there. I would live there too. People find a way to do it.
A ton of money you would, but
I
wouldn't even do it with a ton of money. People are flooding out of California, man. Flooding out of there.
Okay, I gotta ask you this. I mean, it's like the first off, the show got off on a little bit of a. I wasn't familiar with the situation with David Pasternak, so it's kind of been on my mind. It's rattled me a little bit. I feel bad for this guy. I'm like even questioning in my head, like, should we even be doing the show today in honor of David Pasternak? Man, I can imagine what this guy is going through. Well,
we shouldn't do that show today because of that. Well, that's extreme. We gave him a shout out. Like that's what we do.
Next time
you were weird today. Okay, what the fuck did you do last night?
Hey, you know what I did last night? We had a party yesterday. We had this like party going on. It was my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary, and like
those are really fun.
All these people, a lot of old people and stuff like that. Like
what a blast, Andy. And he brags about that. Like I went to a party. I'm like, oh fuck, where? Like what in Vegas?
It was an all-day event.
My granddad.
Hey, but nice accomplishment though, Cam, to make it 50 years, dude.
Goddamn right. That's nice.
Where are your parents at?
They're up. They're getting there. I mean, they're not that. They're 65, 66. They got married. I don't even know. But I don't know. I can't do it. They've been married. My parents have not got divorced. Nothing. They almost did a bunch of times. When your parents fight about money, it's the worst fucking thing in the universe. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, yeah, there could be worse things, but when they fight about money and you're just all you want is your parents to have money so you can have a cool shirt to go to school with because everybody else has that cool shirt. And then, but you're playing hockey, which is great. But they fought about money, man. Oh man.
And you still don't have it. You still don't have a cool shirt. I mean, I'm still.
I know. Cool shirt. I know. I'm still wearing all my fucking free shit every goddamn day.
Hey, okay, so this Blackhawk situation is just
all right.
It's getting more and more weird, and the more we go. I mean, it's just it's crazy. I mean, the way I look at it, honestly, and you think about some of the other names that were around back then, like a guy like Joel Quenneville. How much involvement did he have? Like when we start to really get some answers, and the league says something. The fact that the league hasn't said anything is a little sketchy, man. I mean, that's what's getting a lot of people's attention right now and leading to a lot of criticism that's pointed in the direction of the league. I mean, how much did the Blackhawks know? How much did they overlook? Are the accusations that are being thrown against them, I mean, how relevant and how accurate are they? And if they're accurate, the reality is, I mean, heads are going to roll. There's no way in 2021, and I'm not going to sit here and say they should or shouldn't, man. I'm not going to sit here and say they should for sure, but there's no way these guys are going to be able to survive this. When you know about sexual abuse allegations and you try to sweep those under the rug and you try to do nothing about it, and then all of a sudden it shows its ugly head and it rises back up to the surface years later and you still have no comment about it, dude, you're done, man. You're not going to survive this.
No way. Here's the deal. If this was a more powerful person as far as in the organization is concerned, and he's taking not like a Jerry Sandusky type, but like a powerful man in the organization where you could take advantage of an 18-year-old kid that has nothing, and you're like, I'm going to give you an opportunity, and then you take advantage of that. You take advantage of your power. But this fuckhead is the fucking video coach. Andy, besides fucking Sean Farrell from the Blues, every goddamn video coach I've ever seen is goddamn Poindexter. Poindexter walking in like, hey, hi, and they put their laptop up like, nyeh, and everybody's like, what up, dude? What'd you fucking do last night? Just chirping because like he's got no power. He's a lowest of the low, and that whole thing is like a fucking assistant trainer. taking advantage of you. So it's so weird how this guy can manipulate these guys, not even kids, are guys now. Bring them over to, like, if a video coach asked me, he said, apparently he invited him over to the house to show him video. I'd be like, the video coach tells me, I'd be like, what? Why don't we fucking do it here in the locker room? I've never seen that. So it's like for a guy with no power to be able to take advantage of it. And then kind of everybody knows about it. And then they're like, well, like what? Like it's asinine. There's got to be more to it. There's got to be something that we don't know, because this is so fucking weird and dumb that even the players, I'm like, where are you at, motherfuckers? You can't be like, get this little nerd fuck out of here, video coach.
Exactly. Like how are the players not going to the general manager or to Joel Quenneville and be like, this fucking video coach, you know what this guy's fucking doing? Get him the fuck out of here.
Look, if your trainer, if you're just a little off, the guys all hate you. Like if you're just a little, the guys are fucking big. So for this guy to be off like that and try to follow him around to the parties or to go to bars, and wouldn't the guys be, get this little fucking guy out of our goddamn way? What is he doing?
If a teammate came to you and said, hey, this video coach is doing some shady shit, you won't believe what he just tried to do to me in a video session and what he did to himself in a video session. Like, how would he even survive to be there 24 hours from then? So this is the weird part, though. I mean, there's a lot of weird parts to it, don't get me wrong, but this is certainly one layer of it, is the fact that he's only suing the Blackhawks for $150,000. Like, I mean, $150,000. It's like you're basically asking to pay for, like, your legal fees. Like, why are you only suing for $150,000? I want to know what Stan Bowman knew. I want to know what McDonough, the former president of the organization, who's no longer there, I want to know what he knew.
I want to know what Jonathan Toews knows.
I want to know what Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane and Duncan Keith and
Seabrook and all the boys.
Soupy and all those guys, man. What did they know? You know what I'm saying? You guys knew about this?
What?
Like, what's up? Like, who's, you know, it's like, this is something that you just don't. It's like, could you imagine, like in a football locker room, like the video coach trying to do that to like, dude, they would have this guy out of that room so quickly, you would think. But the same thing in the NHL. Like, how did this guy all of a sudden not only stick around for a little bit, Cam, but then the organization is giving him recommendation letters to go work elsewhere. He worked at Miami, Ohio. He worked at Miami University. Then he worked with kids. And these guys are so sick, they continue a pattern of just this ugly behavior, man. They can't help it. And then he winds up in jail, dude, and ruining the life of a kid who is also involved in this lawsuit. So, you know, these situations don't pop up every day in the NHL, but I'm really disappointed in the fact that, you know, the NHL and the Blackhawks have been so quiet about it, and nobody's making any statements, nobody's saying anything. Now, Gary Bettman's going to have his press conference coming up, and, you know, he's going to be faced with a lot of questions, and let's hope there's some real hard questions. And people deserve answers, and they better get some answers from the NHL. And I hope the reporters who have been digging on this, who have been doing a pretty good job on it, you know, unveiling some information that are hopefully going to lead to some answers, that they continue to do so. Because this is completely unacceptable. And anybody who knew about this, Cam, back in 2010 and didn't do anything and was part of a collection of people that tried to sweep it under the rug and said, hey, we're not going to go to the police. We're just going to get this guy out of here or whatever, and we're just going to pretend like it never happened. Dude, those people need to be out of hockey, and they need to be out of hockey now.
Well, there might be a lot of them. But I don't understand why you would protect such a fucking dipshit, such an irrelevant dipshit. Like, if you know a guy's a dipshit off the bat, like, he's typecasted by other guys. Like, you just know he is. And then, like, one little fuck up, like, get rid of this guy. Like, that's such an easy goddamn fix. It's such an easy fix. It is so weird. I am so flabbergasted by this whole situation. I don't understand the mindset. I don't get how you can let that go by. Somebody, please help us and talk to us about, there's got to be more to this. I don't get it, man.
Are we making too much sense? Is that what it is?
Help me here. Am I wrong on asking these questions? Like, why isn't where's Jonathan Toews? Imagine this happened when we were on our team.
Wasn't Ben Eager on that team? Like some of these guys too.
What about Jammer? Wasn't Jammer on that? Was Jammer?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't on that team.
Eager, Carcillo.
Carcillo was in Philadelphia at the time, but Dustin Byfuglien was there. I mean, who knows all these? He was in Philly. because I covered that Stanley Cup final.
He won at
Blackhawks
13.
against Philly. Yeah, he won in 13.
My bad.
And he was actually playing for the Flyers back in 2010. But Carcillo came out and said even the Flyer players knew what was going on. They heard the whispers.
Oh, that's horrifying, man. I usually look. There's real life monsters out there, and we've talked about this. One is Jerry Sandusky. Yeah. He's a 6'7" monster to little boys. That is you're a real life monster. We talk tornadoes, Jerry Sandusky, some of these killers. You know, he's in that category. For a guy to just be just a predator. And look, every time the guy came in the room, and like anytime they're in a weird spot, like he probably did so many little creepy things throughout the day. Guys walking around naked. I don't know. Like, whoa, it's like a playground for that freak.
And he's putting he's putting like pornos on and stuff like that during like video sessions and stuff.
What?
Like that. Oh yeah,
Andy,
like,
that
listen, is. There's been several stories written about this. Listen, I'm not one of those that is so into reading this type of stuff, like where I'm just going to read every story that comes out. I've read enough. I'm waiting for some answers now. I'm waiting for the league to come out. I'm waiting for the Blackhawks to come out. And let's cut the cord with some of these people that are still working in the NHL, if in fact they're guilty, man. If they knew what the fuck was going on and they did nothing.
Wow.
They did nothing, and they collectively decided it was a good idea to not go to the police and to just essentially to sweep it under the rug. And then apparently, I mean, this is where it's crazy too, where I guess, I don't know if it was a team psychologist. I think it was, where the player accuses the team psychologist after he went to the team psychologist, or he went to the skills coach who went to the team psychologist, whatever the order of events it was. And they like blamed the victim. You know, it's like victim blaming.
Wait. Say that again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're saying that the victim who made the accusation, they were like blaming him like it was his fault.
Oh, my God. What is going on here? What? No one else is jumping on this damn thing? Is anybody really talking about this on any radio show or anything? Like, are they breaking this thing down? Are they calling that fucking front office all the fucking time? I mean, I hear bits and pieces of it, but isn't this gigantic?
Cam,
original 16?
When a coach...
What the fuck?
When a coach kicks a player in the back, and there's no excuse for that, and that happened several years ago, that dude is off the bench in like 30 seconds. They kick his ass out of the league. You're like done. You need to go get help or you're fired. Go coach in the NHL. Racial slurs, all that type of stuff, man. There's no room for any of that in the game.
This is on a different level.
But when we hear about that, it's like the league comes out. They speak right away. They get rid of the bad guy. The bad guys are gone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
But in this particular case, like what do you need? If you need to investigate it on your own, then come out and say that. So come out and say it.
Wow, man. You're absolutely right. It's not petty stuff. Some of it kind of is petty, but it's not. But it's still in a completely different category. People go ape shit. I mean, shit, Tom Wilson threw a guy down. I mean, the whole world stopped. The whole hockey community stopped. But this creepo is molesting cats on a fucking Stanley Cup winning team for years, and everybody knew about it, and no one's really digging into it. I mean, maybe they are, but this should be on every. People be like, I mean, go on. Anybody talking about it in Canada? Anybody talking about it on Hockey Night in Canada? Anybody doing anything?
I don't know if I don't know how much sexual assault or sexual misconduct went on between the coach and the actual player. I don't know to what extent it happened. You know what I mean? I don't know if the player was sexually molested or whatever, as the term you use. I don't know how far it got. So I don't know. That's the thing. We just don't know all the answers. But something tells me the Blackhawks are sitting there and they're being like, "Hey, this is not what happened." Like they have a completely different story to share. And I think we're waiting for that story to come out.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
You know what I mean? Because I think some of the people that are involved who have been accused of having this meeting with the GM. I thought
there was oral sex involved, dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But how do you let that happen? The only time, maybe the only reason, maybe they're both, I don't know. I think maybe he had a relationship with a guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a relationship with a guy. And that's why he kind of flipped.
And you hear some of these former assistant coaches and stuff like that saying, "Hey, I'll come on. I'll tell you everything I knew." Like some of this was going on.
And we're just speculating here, guys. This is we do a podcast, And you guys all know, you guys see this hockey story. I know all you fucking big old Canadian boys are shaking your head. I know you guys are, and girls. But like, maybe it was that he had a relationship with a younger player that we don't know. I'm just saying. And it kind of got out, and the guys are just like, oh, okay. But the guy maybe did a couple other weird things, but maybe he had a relationship with a player.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I don't.
That's the only thing that kind of makes sense, though. It doesn't.
I don't know. And nothing makes sense until the Blackhawks come out and explain.
Hey, we speculate.
What happened?
But this is what you do on a podcast.
Stan Bowman, man, he is. He's in a heap of shit. He's in a heap of shit.
We need to know some answers here, man. It's unacceptable.
And I hate to say this, man, because I don't want to point the finger at any individual. I'm glad that Mark Bergevin was like, hey, just so the world knows, he was like player personnel at the time. Like, he's not like necessarily around every single day. You know, he was with the Blackhawks, but he came out and he made it clear, like, listen, I was not involved in any meetings. I was not a part of this, whatever. This.
Oh, he said that.
Me. Oh yeah.
When the other day they asked him.
Oh yeah, he's like, remove my name from this.
Oh, I'd
keep
say
me
that.
the hell away from here.
Hey.
And I'd be coming out and saying that too. Joel Quenneville's not saying anything. I know people have asked for comments from Quenneville, and he's not giving any statements. And you know, I've known Joel for a long time, man. And
he was around that video coach.
I hope to God. Well, these head coaches, man. I mean, listen, they know everything that's going on with their players, their assistant coaches, trainers, equipment people. These people know everything. It's like these football coaches, you know, in the NFL, man. Like they're control freaks. They know everything that's going on in their building, and nothing gets past them. You know, and so like I just hope that a guy like Joel Quenneville, as respected as he is, as a legendary coach, that he didn't know this was going on and he looked the other way, man. I hope that
you gotta understand though. Listen, you gotta understand. If you're a video coach, you're like a little bitch boy. You're around those coaches every second of every day. You're sitting by them on the plane. You're doing this. You're riding in the buses together. You're getting to the rink early together. You're going to dinner. You're going to get coffee. You're doing this. You're doing everything together. Everything, Andy. You know that. You've been on buses. You've seen it all. You traveled team. You've seen how they're right. They're their little boy right here. Come here. Get that video cut for me. They're right. They are there together all the time.
But I know how Joel is. If Joel knew, I truly believe if he knew his coach was acting inappropriately to his players, like if he knew this was going on, dude, he'd have that guy. And he wouldn't give a shit about going to the play. I can't believe they would try to protect this guy and then write a recommendation letter for him to go work elsewhere. So again, I don't know. Where is the truth in all of this? I think, you know, I'm reserving a little bit of judgment, man. I really am, because the only thing that the guy who's making the accusation has going for him to where he should be considered very trustworthy, very believable, is he's had some people corroborate what he's said. Okay. And Brent Sopel has come out and made some comments and stuff like that, who was on the team.
Yep.
So again, he's got some people, like I say, corroborating, you know, what he said, but also the fact that this video coach continued to do the same thing when he left the Blackhawks and ended up in jail because he molested a high school kid. I mean, the fact that the Blackhawks are giving him positive recommendations and writing these recommendation letters, that's what gave him an opportunity to go prey on a young kid and go work at a high school. So they're indirectly or directly, however you want to look, but they're responsible for that too.
Andy, you got a little boy. I mean, I'm just saying. And he starts playing travel hockey and the coach was fucking weird or something, you would you'd call me and I'd call a couple other people and then things would get done. But like you'd be fucking freaked out. You'd be freaked out. I mean, if I told my dad, say I'm in a billet family or something in Windsor, and they kind of, I had to went through a little weird, nothing crazy, but just like, but if imagine I called my dad and I said, this fucking guy is what he comes in, like does it, he kind of did that. My dad would have a plane up there in 2 seconds and he would cause a shitstorm. And that's what you do as a parent, dude. That's what you do. It's so weird. There's got to be more to it. We don't know, but God damn it, right now, you're putting us in a weird spot to fucking talk about it and to lose our fucking minds as we should until you guys come back out and give us some fucking answers. fucking horrible for hockey.
And this is where the NHL, in a way, I mean, there's pressure on the league, Cam, to come out and speak on this. I mean, there's some significant pressure, and there should be. There needs to be more pressure, but this is where the NHL kind of gets away with this, man, because they're not as big as these other professional sports. Could you imagine if this was going on in the NFL, NBA? This would be round-the-clock news on every major network, every news program, every sports program, dude. There'd be cameras following Stan Bowman around from his house to the work to whatever, trying to with a microphone in his face, dude. They couldn't hide anywhere. This would be round-the-clock pressure. Instead of like having like a couple of blogs written about it, trying to get like, okay, we need answers. Like, dude, we need some significant pressure on these people. They should all be suspended indefinitely.
Yep.
Indefinitely, not even allowed to go to work, to be in the building, not to be around their team until the investigation is completed.
Dude,
like, am I making too much sense? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you are. No, you're not. No, I don't know. Yeah, you're making sense. Okay. And I think any logical person, unless they have more news than we do, would agree. How can you not agree with that? I don't know, man. And I'm sorry we went so long on this, but this is it just is bugging the shit out of me. It's horrible. It's horrifying. And I don't get it. And I'm not happy about it. And we have a platform, Andy. And, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. But right. Something has to happen. Yeah.
We're going all over the place here, but listen. Yeah. So you've got 20,000 Montreal Canadian fans like rubbing shoulders outside, like
they're having an orgy,
destroying the city.
I'll say it. Yeah. They're having an orgy. And everybody's like, well, Cam, they're outside. The fuck? The fuck you talking about? They're fucking all over each other, like spit everywhere, fucking making out with each other. But it's outside. What the fuck? It is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And it's like they let that happen. There is a picture, Andy, of 20,000 people standing there. And the picture was inside or on the outside of this restaurant. And the restaurant can only have 3 or 4 people in the outside part with like 20 feet of distance. And they're all like staring at this mob of fucking people, like all crammed into each other. And the people at the restaurant can only like seat 3 people outside. It is so ludicrous. I can't begin to explain it. So bizarre, man.
I know. It's crazy. But do you know that, like, so people who work with the Canadians, because like you've seen the box, right? You see Marc Bergevin, he's got his hair flowing, whatever. Yeah. And you got that woman who's in there with him. She's been like the secretary to the GM for like almost 40 years or something like that. She's like a lifer, does everything. Uh-huh. It's kind of cool to see that. I kind of like wondered who she was, had to ask some people, like, who's this lady that's hanging out with Bergevin all the time, like celebrating with him?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a soccer coach, the way he celebrates a little bit. He looks like a European soccer coach.
I like him.
Oh, yeah. Dude. And I've known Bergie for a long time, man. I truly am happy for him because he's had to like pay his dues. Like he's become a GM the right way. He wasn't one of these guys that just had a long career, which he did, played over 1,000 games and just immediately got an opportunity, dude. He had to scout. He had to be a director of player personnel. He had to be an assistant GM, dude. He truly climbed the ladder. And a lot of people in that organization did. But there's people who work with the Canadians because of the whole like, Canadian quarantine and stuff like that, who live in the States. And okay, so now because they're in the final, a lot of these people are in Montreal, Cam, and they've got a quarantine for like a couple of weeks. They can't even join the team till like game 3.
Oh, geez.
And this is a league quarantine. This isn't like a Montreal health quarantine where they're saying, okay, you're here. This is what the league is telling them. And listen, I love Bill Daly and everything. He's always been very good to me and whatever, but he's like traveling like all over the place, handing out trophies and stuff like that. Like he's not quarantining. Like these people can't even join the team that they work for in the Stanley Cup final. You got a player who can't even travel with the team. He's under COVID protocol. I don't know what his situation is, like how sick he is and what his symptoms are and stuff like that. But man, I don't need to hear anything more about COVID protocol. Every time I think we're out of it, like we're back in.
Oh, Andy. I agree, man. I don't understand it. It makes your head fucking boggle, dude. A lot of things happening right now make your head boggle. I get it. We went through it all. And again, like the vaccine situation I know it's not there yet. Blame your government for that, of course. But to let certain things happen and then not certain things happen and then this happened and not that. It just makes your head spin. I don't get it. And I don't think anybody understands it, but it is what it is up there. And it sucks, man. And it sucks for the players. It sucks for a lot of people. And, like even Tampa's like, oh, cool. I get to go to Montreal and play in front of 3,500 people. It's like, oh, yay, cool. It takes, even for them, like going to Canada, it's a pain in the ass. They can't do anything up there. They can't go this, can't do that. It's like, oh, cool. Let's go back in time a year. And that's where they're at up there, man. And we feel sorry for all the Canadian people, dude. Absolutely do. Fucking right. They went through hell and back. We've seen all our messages every fucking day, Andy. So it's just weird, man. I'm proud. I'm glad about the Montreal fans going crazy and stuff like that, having a good time. It is what it is.
Let them in the building. Let them in the building.
Let them in the goddamn building. I mean, well, it's inside, Andy. It's inside. Like, okay.
Okay. So anyway, but some of these employees who work for the Canadians, like they are American or not. I shouldn't say American, but live in the States and they've been vaccinated and now they've got a quarantine. They can't even join the team. But again, Bill Daly, he's flying around Canada, U.S., touching things, handing out trophies and whatever. So again, none of it really makes sense. But getting back to Bergevin, Cam, my first year doing television.
Oh, here we go.
Just trying to figure it out. It was early in the season and I didn't really know, it's whatever. I'd known Berge forever, hung out with him, been on planes with them, hung out with him in airports, layovers, whatever. He's Berge. He's just a character. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, he won't give a shit. So I wanted to do a TV interview with somebody on his staff and I had it kind of lined up during the game when we would do it, So anyway, we during the game, I go to his box, his luxury box where he's watching the game. And the Blues were up early, so he's pissed off, whatever. Blues were up 2-0, the first 5-10 minutes of the game. So I didn't really know. And when you're first starting to do TV, at least in my situation, I just kind of followed the cameramen, the producers, kind of what they told you to do, whatever. They're yeah, go to this place to do the interview, whatever. So when I get to his box, my cameraman is just chilling out in the back of the box. So I'm thinking, okay, that's cool, man. We'll just hang out in the back of the box. Well, all of a sudden the whistle blows after I'm in there for 5 minutes and he turns around and he sees me in there and he loses his fucking mind. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you guys doing? Loses his fucking mind. And I'm thinking, okay, oh my God. I thought it was cool that we could just be in here. It's fucking Bergevin. I've known him forever. He won't care if I go hang out. But again, it's knowing time and score. When you're a player, time and score, they're down 2-0, man. It's intense. These guys live and die. Canadian city, man. I'm sure there's pressure on him like no other. So anyway, I leave the box, and I think the next TV timeout, the guy I was interviewing, whatever, came out of the box. We did the interview. He's like, it's all good, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So after the game, I'm inside the Blues dressing room. And somebody comes and I think it was Chaser because, Chaser probably organized all of this, to get this guy all fired up and all angry. Whatever.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Bergevin's outside waiting for you. He wants you. And I kind of think he's joking, whatever. And I'm like, okay, good. Because I want to straighten it out with Marc Bergevin. So sure enough, I go out there and now understand this, Cam, I just started TV. I don't want to have anything rocking the boat. People are probably like, oh, fuck. Andy Strickland now coming onto television. Shit's happening. And, he's getting into it with an opposing GM, kind of back in the days when he's writing stories. Yeah. What did he say? What did he do? He's in my face, Cam, screaming at the top of his lungs, dude. Just screaming at me.
What?
Security's watching. Don't you ever come in my box again. How could you think? I'm like, Bergie, calm down, relax. And you know how many media members are traveling with the Montreal Canadiens. I'm like, is nobody going to turn the camera on? Is this going to turn into crazy, big time news or whatever? And John Kelly was right there, Blues broadcast. I'm like, what is going on? Security. And eventually Bergie just starts screaming. So then I kind of start yelling back at him. I'm like, dude, don't yell at me, man. I just didn't do shit. I stood in the back of your box. Whatever.
Well, you could have knocked on the fucking door.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to do that. Well, my camera guy was in there, so I just thought that it's okay to go in there. I thought that was the protocol. I've been doing television for about 5 days,
Oh,
so,
yeah, I see it.
Okay, so anyway, so Bergie just all of a sudden storms off, kicks the door open. like in between the hallway or where the dressing room is out into like the main hallway where you get by the, players lounge, wives lounge and stuff like that. And he's just like, fuck me, whatever. And so then the following draft, a few months later, or whatever, at the end of the year, he and I had to sit down and like hugged it out. It was all good, whatever. He apologized. I apologized or whatever.
Well, man, he could have been doing something stupid, or he could have been talking or been mumbling to him. I wouldn't want you in there either.
No, I would. Cam, I would never
knock on a door.
I would never, ever do that again. Ever.
No, can't do it. Imagine you did it with Lou. Well, he wouldn't.
No. Well, you know what? I probably. No,
you wouldn't have done it with him.
This was one of the several mistakes I made. But I thought, okay, I know Bergie. It's all good. He doesn't care if I come in there. You
fucked up. That wasn't that. You didn't. You know what a fuck up is? Recording him doing something stupid and playing it or something. Oh yeah, that's a fuck up.
But he berated me in front of like lots of people. You know, all those fans and stuff like that are hanging out in the Sub-Zero lounge.
In that Sub-Zero lounge.
And they're like staring at me. You got the opposing GM wearing
no one filmed that?
Wearing like a hot pink suit, just screaming at me.
Like
just going crazy. Oh, yeah.
Just going flamingo.
But, part of his deal, though, he wanted to intimidate me and trying to like whatever. And like that wasn't going to happen. It was just kind of like, okay, like, dude, I get it. Nothing really happened. I left the box, whatever. We still did the Well, he kind of acted like he was going to get physical. He was like pointing at me,
Oh, that's the worst.
I'm in my chest.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that.
And so that's where. So then I start getting.
Did you smack his hand out of the way?
Yeah.
You were probably being a little bitch.
No, dude. We kind of went back and forth a little bit.
But listen, hand off me. God.
I apologized, and we kind of laugh about it now when I see him or whatever. So I was shocked to this day that it never became like a big like news story in Montreal that like here's this GM flipping out, Cam. And when I say going crazy, I mean going absolutely crazy. Like you've never seen anything like it. Like
he could have got
screaming.
Here's the headline. Habs GM is terrorizing young little boy.
Well, you don't want that right now. You don't want that.
I know. Well, yeah, like somebody could have mistaken. Like, is that? Oh, it's Andy, but
I know
he looks so big. Like I don't know.
But Marc Bergevin, he's one of the most popular players. Like no matter who he played with, what team he played for, people love him.
He's a nice guy, man. I'm rooting for him, dude. I mean, I'm rooting for Patty. Yes. I don't know. I just go to game 7, guys. Like, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with this again, but I just want them to play 7 games. Play 7 games of mean and be entertaining because it's already kind of has a little not having fans up there kind of like dilutes it a little bit, in my opinion.
I know.
But I know. Just put a good product on the ice and it's
But you really believe it's like even the Islanders series, man. I never truly believed that they were going to knock off the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah. I know. It was forced to a game 7, but you get to.
Tampa fucked them up that last game, Andy. They were all over them. That game 7, Tampa was all over the place in that game, dude. They're all over. Islanders need another heavy hitter up front, dude. Barzal can only do so much. Under sleeves out. They need a heavy hitter, man.
Yeah.
It's pure goal scorer.
Every team needs that, man. And not having Lee, obviously, like you said, that was a backbreaker for them. Yeah. I like this Kyle Palmieri. He's going to make some money in the offseason, whatever. But again, he's not, when he's your most dangerous shooter on the ice, man, that kind of tells you like what you're going up against, especially when you look at Tampa Bay. How about Patty and Scotty Mayfield, though, going at it before the, and that's what Patty does, man. Patty is like his value to a team is so much more than like just getting pucks out and pucks in.
Yeah, it is.
He's like a personality, man. He just does like
he gives you an identity. Yeah,
he gets a lot of attention, Cam.
Gets a lot of attention, man. And he looks the part, and he's doing it right, and he's not making mistakes with the puck. Like he's so fucking good off the wall. It's insanity how he just like knows how to just tip it in the right spot, or just spin off a guy and lay it out perfectly with that fucking roller hockey sauce pass that he knows how to do so well. Mm-hmm. He's just good, man. And he might fucking win 3 in a row, dude. And has anybody done that with 2 different teams? I don't know. He's going to break a lot of records. He's going to have a lot of not weird records, but different kind of winning records. Most games, playoff games played, something this, something that. I don't know. 2 different teams this. He's going to have a lot of accolades, man. They win again, dude. I mean, big time.
He'll
be a story for a long time.
He knows how to play to his skill set. Mm-hmm. You always hear guys know how to play fast. Like he knows how to play slow. And that's like it's not a chirp, dude.
Nope, you're right
at all. It's like he can do more things at the pace that he plays at than other guys could do. Like most people couldn't be able to, control the play as well as he can. And again, man, go back to Game 7, and they have so much star power for Tampa Bay, but it was the bottom, the bottom two lines, their bottom six, whatever, fourth line that really stood out. That was the best players in that game, man. He played like 12 plus minutes in that Game 7.
Yep.
You look at some of the other games earlier in the series, he was playing 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. So it shows you how different Tampa Bay can play. They can play different styles of hockey and still beat you, and how much confidence a guy like John Cooper.
Matty Martin was playing a lot of minutes too. So their fourth line was good too, man.
And I like Matty Martin. I don't know if he's I don't know. His game doesn't, it's like sometimes when I see Matty Martin out there, I'm like, I don't know if he should.
And
he
was crushing some guys, and he's scoring some big goals.
Absolutely crushing guys.
He hurt a couple guys, smoke hits, dude. Like boom, crunch hits on the boards, hurt guys. Like fucking, you hit the dasher on your fucking ribs or something. And then he scores some big time goals. Didn't he get a big time assist? So no, Matty Martin did his thing. Cizikas,
he did.
Clutterbuck took a couple dumb penalties. Hey, anytime you take a penalty late in a game where you're in front of the net and somebody kind of pushes you out of the way, and then you punch them back in the face, and then you get pissed there. Like, that's so dumb. If you get a heading penalty on a forecheck, fine. But if you punch a guy because he kind of pushed you out of the way because you're in front of their fucking net, and you start going crazy like he did, like, settle down.
I know what you're talking about, but like in that situation, the refs are taking a beating right now, like, because Blake Coleman punched him like a little uppercut, like in that particular scrum, Cam, and like didn't get a penalty, so they just took one guy.
I know
the referees are getting crushed. I will say this, man. I hear, and pretty good sources, true too. Like everyone's asking why, what's his name, the loud referee. Why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden?
McCauley.
Wes McCauley. Yeah. So I'm here, like he's in the protocol. And that's why he's not officiating deep into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And why he's not able to officiate in the Stanley Cup final, because everybody's like, hey, where's Wes McCauley? Like, why isn't he on the ice?
Fuck Canada, man.
It's not that hard. Well, no, he lives in like Maine, I believe. So he lives in the States, but still, you're talking about the games in Canada. Yeah. No, but there's like, he's in the protocol, man. So they basically told him he had to shut it down for the rest of the year. So he's out.
Oh, wow. For the rest of the year, right? Wow.
Rest of the year.
So he had COVID. And then he's out. He doesn't have it anymore. And
there may have been some other people in his household that also have COVID as well. So
I guess I get that then, right? I mean,
you know what I mean?
You got COVID. And then your kid has COVID, but then can you get it again? Oh, God, just I don't even know. I just don't even know. So whatever. Yeah. It's all good. Hey, look. Nothing we can do about the COVID shit. Nothing you can do about the fucking fans. Nothing you can do about the American government. Nothing you can do about the Canadian government. Yeah. We can't do shit. But here's the deal. I want these players to fucking kill each other and go at it and have emotion and be loud and physical and score and this and whatever. Just show us, have a good product on the ice and go to Game 7 and get everybody going crazy, because the playoffs have been fantastic. And, it'd be great for hockey. A lot of weird things going on in hockey, but goddamn, the product's there. The product is there.
And guys like Corey Perry and whatever, man, they're extending their careers. Somebody's going to want them on their team next year, too.
Who said this, though, Andy? Somebody wrote a fucking article, man, about, like, the NHL's ruining itself by signing guys like Corey Perry and Patty Maroon and these guys these young kids could have a slot in that lineup, but they're signing these, like, and it's just something to that effect. And I'm like, what?
Who's saying that? Somebody said to me on Twitter, like, that Brady Point is better than Steve Yzerman, too.
All right. Somebody else said, hey, Vladimir Tarasenko for Matthew Tkachuk straight up.
Matthew Tkachuk. Oh, can we mention Matthew Tkachuk real quick?
Yeah, you can.
And listen, and I can tell you this, like, he hasn't like officially asked for a trade from Calgary, whatever. Calgary's talking about moving this guy, moving that guy. Who knows what they're going to do? Yeah. I mean, Daryl Sutter, like, comes on board there, like, signs a 3-year contract extension. Like, he's going to want his best players on the roster. Yeah. And personally, from what I think Daryl Sutter has his eye on the GM job there anyway. I think he wants Tree Living's job in Calgary. He wants to be the GM.
Tree Living?
But like, people throw stuff out there, Cam. Everyone wants to be an insider.
Except for me. Listen, I'm the only one I don't.
I know. And word gets around and people hear things and whatever. Then they go with something, but you can't go with something as like it's a fact and create like a shitstorm and then like backpedal a little bit and be like, I don't know. This is kind of the rumor that I'm hearing. But
I'll say, all right, look, It hits home. It's close to Andy. Andy's extremely tight with the Kachucks. Like, it is what it is. We have them on. They come in. Andy's no, and I love Walt. We just know that family, and they are motherfucking buttoned up. They are so buttoned up. They're not talking to anybody about anything like that, dude. I mean, anything like that. Anybody could just say he wants out of there. Well, anybody could say that, but to say that, like, yeah, if you reference it like you really are talking to the family, and they're like, "Here, I'm going to tell you, I want out, and I might want to go to St. Louis. Go ahead and post." That ain't happening. They are so buttoned up. They have the security system to even bring Brady on, and Brady is so professional. Like, he just knows what they've been in the game long enough, and they got people back. Like, they're not saying anything to anybody. Am I wrong on that, Andy?
No,
are the Kachucks talking to anybody, really? I mean, hey, Matthew, what do you got going there? Oh, you want to come to St. Louis? Oh, that's cool. Oh, what else is going on? Yeah, I want to get out of here too. Okay, I'll tell the world.
It's just like we hear all the time with all these, like, kids that are from Toronto, like they want to play in like their hometown. I don't think that's Matthew Tkachuk's focus right now, trying to find his way to St. Louis to play for the Blues.
Come on.
I mean, if it happens down the road, it happens. Listen,
he ain't telling you if he wants to.
It's his hometown. I mean, how many kids would love to play for their hometown team, Cam? You did it. Like, obviously, I'm sure it's like a dream come true, but that's not the focus right now. This guy wants to win. He wants to be in the best situation possible where he can win, where he can do his thing. So, but
he ain't telling anybody where he wants to go. Like, he's just not doing it.
But he doesn't have the option to decide where he goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this guy's a restricted free agent. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's not going to be a UFA after that anyway. So he's under the control of the Calgary Flames. And let me just put it simple. It's simple this way. And everyone focuses on, oh my God, how are the Kachucks going to handle this? All this stuff being talked. Like, this isn't their problem. This is the Calgary Flames problem. Yeah. And like, I don't think the Flames are like, and it's not like, let me just say this, and no disrespect to anybody, but it's not like Bob McKenzie put it out on Twitter to where this is just like all of a sudden, like, I think people kind of look at this report, kind of is what it is. Sure, would he like to play in St. Louis? I don't think that's the focus right now. I don't think he's trying to get his way out of Calgary. They very well may move him. You never know. I mean, if you look at the players on the roster in Calgary, if you really want value in return for players that you have on your roster, he's probably the guy on your roster that could truly present the most value in return if you want to make a hockey trade. But he's not like forcing his way out. And the way you force your way out nowadays, you got to go to the team and say, hey, I'm not coming back. I'll never play for the Flames again. I want to trade. Get me the hell out of there. And that's not happening. So anyway, so you just kind of get a lot of that. I've always said this, Cam, and other people have reiterated this too. And you'll appreciate this. There's two different types of reporters, two different types of like insiders and whatever. One is where their timeline tells you every single thing they know. And the other one is basically where it tells you basically, 10% of what they know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good quote, dude. No, and that's why I don't do it. I don't act like I know anything about it. I don't want to I don't even ask you about it, Andy. Do I even ask you about what's going on?
Sometimes you will tell me you don't even want to know.
Yeah.
That's what you'll say. I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know.
You know what? Because then you'll end up saying it or whatever.
Because we do radio every fucking day. It just pops in your head, and all of a sudden you're like,
because I have told you some things in the past, and then you like go on and like use it. I'm like, can't like that's not for you to like use on your radio show.
Maybe one time 5 years ago. Maybe one time
Well, it happened at least once.
I don't pull that shit, dude. I don't care. I don't need to do that to get attention or anything like that. I'll just be funny and talk about tornadoes, if anything. I don't want to know. But if there's something that you want to tell me and I'll get out, I'll do it. But, dude, I'm good with that. You're lucky I'm like that, by the way.
No, I know. No, for sure. So, anyway, so we'll just see how this
see how it goes.
How this thing plays out. But they created a shitstorm, there's no question. And it got a lot of attention. I don't know. I mean, everyone wants to be an insider, dude. Everyone wants to be an insider.
Fuck that. I don't want to call people for this shit. You do that.
Hey, speaking of which, real quick before we get to Guy Carbonneau.
Yeah.
He spoke in third person, by the way, in the interview.
Yeah, he did.
I kind of want to start doing. I want to speak in third person.
No, I don't want you to do it. And, it reminds me of golfers. Gosh dang it, Jerry!
I've never been one. I've never like talked to. I always talk to myself, but I never like refer to myself in third person ever.
Oh,
some people just do. But anyway, for Blues fans out there, the Arizona Coyotes did interview Mike Van Ryn. He's been informed that he's no longer considered a coaching candidate. And I think Arizona's leaning towards maybe two candidates. They've got Todd Nelson and Lane Lambert, who has been a longtime assistant under Barry Trotz. That's where I'd go anyway. I try to find somebody who's been coaching with Barry Trotz. Like, what'd you learn from Barry?
Yeah.
But Lane Lambert is a guy who's going to get a job. I don't know if Arizona's the job that he would want. Like, if you had options, Cam, like, would it just be about the money for you? Like, because these coaches are making so much money, or would you be apprehensive to go to an organization that's a little bit rocky, doesn't have any real history of winning? There's no signs that they're going to be able to win in the short term. Would you go for the quick paycheck, or would you be patient to wait?
Depending on how old I am, depending on how much money I have, depending on my status with my kids, and just depending on, like, if I'm an older coach, I got money to bank, I need to win. But if I'm a young coach, fucking right, I'll go down to Arizona. Goddamn right. Not much pressure. Figure things out. You got golf. Like, the travel's tough. Don't get me wrong. But fuck, you got young kids there. I wouldn't mind that at all. Wouldn't mind it at all. As a young coach, goddamn right, I'd coach for them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I remember talking to Billy Armstrong about that, like when he was like interviewing for the job. It's like, some people were saying, like, why would he want that job? They don't have any draft picks, all those issues. And I was like, let's see. They're going to give you a 5-year contract, pay you more than $1 million a year to live in Scottsdale. Where the alternative is to, like, go scout, like, junior hockey and watch 200 games. Like,
get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to go to Scottsdale and live in, like, on the mountains looking over a fucking desert. Like, get out of here. Beautiful. Fucking right. I'd have a badass house looking on the mountains, because you can get some badass houses down there for cheap too, Andy. You know, you could get a cool place looking over, like, fucking this, that, and the other. You got golf courses out the wazoo, hiking, everything. You got wildlife down there. Fucking Arizona's really cool. It's one of the top 10 states in the United States to live in, by the way. What do you think the other ones are? You don't even know.
Oh, Colorado?
Yeah, they're probably on there. Yep.
Connecticut? Oh, for NHL cities?
No, I'm just saying as a whole, just to live there for, like,
Maine, Connecticut?
No way in hell. It's the most expensive place. Yeah, because it's very expensive to live there.
But it's beautiful, dude.
I'm talking about
Long Island Sound.
I'm just talking about way of life. I'm talking about schools. We're talking about money coming in. Yeah. We're talking about, this much shit. I don't know if Connecticut's on there. Florida certainly is. North Carolina certainly is. Georgia's in there. Missouri's not. Colorado's on there. Arizona.
No, like
California's
Idaho,
not.
Iowa.
You got to look at school. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. Look it up, man. I looked this shit up all fucking. So
Montana.
Weird. That's
Wyoming.
I don't know. I don't know.
Untouched land, Cam.
Yeah, well, it's very expensive, and you're away from little towns and stuff like that. There's some beautiful towns out there, but you got to think as a kid, like, to be an entrepreneur coming up in a small town in Montana is not an easy thing to do. What are you going to be, working the mill? Are you going to work at the market? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be a farmer?
Let me throw this out there.
Yeah.
Here's a name to pay attention to. If you're a Blues fan, who they're going to go after in free agency, who they're coming after. If he truly becomes available, they will make a run. I'm just putting it out there. And that's Gabriel Landeskog.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
They'll be trying to bring him here to St. Louis. Say, look, guys, I remember saying to Panger during the first round playoff series. I remember we were doing a game. And I was like, he kind of looks more like a Blue than he does a Colorado Avalanche. Like, the way that he plays, like, he'd be a better fit here, and he's already a great fit there.
Yeah, no, he's the real deal. Now he's in his 30s.
No, he's like 28, 29, whatever he is.
Yeah, his contract's going to be used in his 30s. Like, you sign him for a big deal. He's going to be older, but damn, he's a warrior. Did you get his best years? I don't know, but fuck, depends on what it is. But he's just like the perfect leader that you want. Although we have a great leader as it is in Ryan O'Reilly, but yeah, man, a lot of teams are going to fucking throw him some fucking coin, dude, for sure, as they should. Yeah. He's a badass. I like him a lot.
He's going to want to win, whatever.
Very handsome guy.
I'm sure he wants to stay in Colorado. I just don't know if they're going to be able to have the cash to give it to him.
I'd love to live in Colorado, Andy. You know. You have a badass fucking place looking over the mountains, ski out. You goddamn
I know,
right.
But it's Denver. You're not up in the mountains, though. I mean, you're in the mountains. Don't get me wrong, but you're like an hour away. You know.
But that's your jam, though. You've been there for 10 years. Like, you got a place in goddamn Aspen or wherever you want. Like, you're looking at, you got all that coin. You're living. I'd have a little place by the rink, so it's easy to get to. But then I'd have my shit kicker home somewhere in the mountains or whatever, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I love thinking about that shit.
Let's get to Guy Carbonneau.
Yeah, we got
legend.
Jesus Christ. Let's go.
Another Hall of Famer who joins us, man. And listen, the timing is great with Montreal going to the Stanley Cup final and everything. So we wanted to pick his brain and get his take on his career and just being a winner in a hockey crazed town like Montreal, dude, where he's like a legend. People were critical when he made the Hall of Fame and whatever, but you know what? They named an award after him in the Quebec League. He truly had a real identity to his brand of hockey in terms of how he played, man. He was like an original shutdown guy. Like there weren't too many players that were labeled as like a shutdown player, like a Rick Mahar and some of these guys back in the day and whatever, you know, before Guy Carbonneau. That was his jam. That's what he did. And when you were a star player and you had a game against Montreal or Dallas, wherever he was playing, whatever, you knew you were up against it that night. And he wasn't one of those guys that was like hitting you hard. I mean, I don't know. He was just like, he was just in your face. He gave you no time and space.
He was smart, dude. He just thought the game extremely well. And he's just a smart player. And he anticipated passes so he could, get a stick on it. He anticipated where you were going to go. Remember we were talking about him and Gretter, which you guys are going to hear, but it's like, I kept an eye on him, but I just knew if I took him away, there can be other players. Like everybody's trying to get him the puck. So he was one step ahead of everybody else. Yeah,
because this is a message for all these like hockey parents out there and whatever, and young hockey players, youth hockey coaches. It's not about frustrating them from the standpoint that you're going to run them every time they touch the puck. You're going to slash them in the bright. You're not going to. No, it's like taking away what they do best, understanding tendencies. Yep. What are their tendencies? What do they like to do when they're in this area of the ice? Do they like to go to their forehand? Do they cut back to the backhand? Do they climb up the wall? Do they like to play below the dots? So it's like taking away the area of the ice that makes them so successful and understanding what their tendencies are. This guy was a master at taking away tendencies, you know?
Yes,
so
he knew. Well, he had a bio on everybody. I mean, like, you know what, Creditors, but you know, there's new guys coming in. There's young star players coming in every single year. You got to deal with somebody new, and he just figured it out. Like he did his homework, and he knew what he needed to do, and he was a step ahead of you, man. And he wasn't a dick. He wasn't Claude Lemieux shutting you down or whatever, right? Like, well, he was fucking whacking the back of the leg and then be mean and do this. No, he just was smart. He's like, no, I know where that pass is going. Nope, think. Oh, I know where you're going with that puck. You're going to spin off of me on your backhand. No, you're not. Now you got to go on your forehand. What's going on there?
Yeah,
like that. This little shit like that, dude.
Yeah, a big shout out too, by the way, to Trent Frederick, who just signed a 2-year contract.
Yeah,
we'll be talking to him soon here on
what up, homeboy?
Cam and Strick podcast. Those boys are having a good time in Nashville at a bachelor party for our boy.
Oh, no shit!
So congratulations!
Oh,
Alex Lord, getting married too. So.
Oh Lord, I want to see some pictures, guys.
All right, as always, the Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield and carshield.com. 800-857-2481, baby.
Yeah.
800-857-2481. Call CarShield today. Now, you never know when something's going to go down, man. Your engine goes out. Your alternator goes out. The starter goes out. Cam knows all about that. Your computer could go down. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars in damages. But that's why you customize your package there with CarShield. You want it long form? Hey, you can structure it however you want. You want it short? Fine. Do it that way. They don't give a shit.
You like it short, that's for sure.
Well, you know, hey, they just they want to help you out, Cam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They want to do what's best for you. And that's what you get from CarShield. Great people, great hockey people. They love the game. Just talk hockey with them.
Yeah,
they want to talk hockey with you too.
Yep.
And you pick where you take your car to get serviced, who works on your car. They hook you up with a rental car. Like everything you hear when you learn about CarShield, it's like too good to be true, Cam. Honestly.
They're great people. They got a great company. It's thriving, and there's a reason for it. Check them out.
No doubt. All right, Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. That's 2 N's. And just go hang out with my boy Dan. Hang out with Dale. Hang out with Dan. They got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street. And on the other side, you got the Cadillac, the Buick, the GMC. Dan knows I'm all about that Escalade. He's got one on pre-order for me, so we're gonna hook that up very, very soon.
Yeah, get that mug, dude.
We're gonna
hook that Volvo you have.
My Volvo's sick, dude. My Volvo is sick.
It's a good for the for a Volvo. It's pretty
tinted
cool.
Windows.
For a Volvo, it's pretty cool. You got dual exhaust out there. The back stance is kind of upright a little bit. It's got a cool stance on it. It's a Volvo, though. Get that Escalade. And you know what the fuck I'm getting. I'm not playing no mo. I'm outdoorsy now. I've changed my mind. I'm going to start being outdoorsy. I'm getting that fat-ass fucking dually. I want to get that side-by-side. And Kate and I are going to go on little camping trips with that bad boy. I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm getting that damn dually.
I want to see
fat ass dually, dude.
Because you're kind of all talk. I want to see you actually do it. Okay.
Wait, I'll talk. How would you see you do it? You're all talk too. Get an Escalade.
Like your Facebook your Facebook videos, like like those like dog food commercials where like somebody's standing in like a grassy field and the dog is running in slow motion and the ears are like flopping up and like that. Those are the videos you're putting out, dude. You need to be more creative with your Facebook. More creative.
All my Instagram, all my social media is completely different in different ways, and that's why it's successful for the most part. Like it kind of is, man. Like I got a lot of things going on with it. I mean, the puppies are absolutely adorable. The women go crazy for them. It is. So I got the women folk coming on board because of the puppies. I got Kate mixed in. You put Kate out there, all the men go crazy. So I got that going for me. I mean, I'm doing a pretty goddamn good job with it. I do different things. It's cute. It's funny. I'm just
saying, your Facebook videos, you gotta up your game, dude. Like no one wants to see you like waiting for your puppy to like come into your arms, dude.
Except for the women do, dude. They're like, oh my god, Prem, this is Prem. Like that's what you got to cater to them once in a while, Andy. You cater to nobody. That's your fucking problem.
Well, I'll be catering to a lot of people out there on the West Coast.
I bet you are. All your buddies out there on the West Coast. Yeah.
This is a family trip.
Man, I hope you have a good time, dude. I hope you do have a good time on that. You deserve a vacation. I will tell you that right now. And your kids do. Your wife does. So go spend some money. Don't be fucking cheap. Okay. Spend some money. Have a nice goddamn dinner. Eat some fucking crab legs and shit. Go to a badass restaurant. Go to a restaurant looking over the lake. Like, if you don't have a good social media throughout this goddamn adventure of yours, well, I can just do shit in my backyard and get plenty of hits. You better fucking be on your social media game. Okay,
how often do I post, Cam? How often can you do that?
Well, you got Instagram. You do a different post on Instagram. You do a different thing on your Instagram story. Then you go to your Facebook and do one on your Facebook story and then post on your Facebook. And then on Twitter, I don't know. Twitter, you can do whatever you want with. Maybe you can throw a couple things out, but you need to build up your Instagram and your goddamn Facebook pages, man.
Dude, I've never done a Facebook story in my life, ever.
I don't do them either. The Facebook story, I do Instagram stories, and then you post it. So but everything's got to be kind of different on that.
Okay, let me ask you this.
So many options. Yeah.
Instagram stories, because the story it goes away, right? After 24
but you want
hours
it to go
or whatever, it goes away, and then it's like no longer there. So like, how do you know if there's more value to putting it in your story versus putting it in your timeline or whatever?
It depends on what it is. Like a little puppy thing where you put it in your story, right? Like it just goes away. Who cares? Mm-hmm, and if you could pin it too. So if it's a good story, you pin it and you could save it. But a picture stays. So like you got to be meticulous with your Instagram pictures. It can't be the same shit of you and your kids every fucking time, or you cooking like air like you've been doing. But just like it's got to be different. So you got to be creative with it, man. Kate and I
did I tell you Traeger sent me a package, dude? I got a very professional apron that they sent me. I showed you that, did I not? My Traeger apron. It says Traeger on it, dude.
That's cool.
I'm like an official ambassador. It's got the rubber pockets and stuff like that. They sent me these like rubber gloves, dude. If I ever have to pull that pork, you know what I'm saying? I pull that pork.
Well, or you got to pick something up, or you can do just pulling pork. You pull that with a fucking little knifey thing.
I'm an ambassador. They sent me a bunch of like stickers, and I'm going to give you a sticker, Cam, if you want to have a sticker.
That's cool. Gee, thanks, Traeger. Thanks, Traeger. Give me a Traeger sticker so I can put it on my truck. You're right.
Oh yeah,
thank you for that.
I know. But I'm official. So go to bellman.com, by the way, and look at the new inventory, man. And plus, if you have a used car, I mean, they'll buy that from you right now. And Dan Bellman's the absolute man. He'll hang out with you. He'll talk with you. They treat you like your family, dude. They're not just going to like treat you like you're a regular customer. They give you the best customer service you'll find anywhere. So go hook up with Dan. And you can ask for Dale too. I'm sure Dale will come out of nowhere. He'll like drop down from the sky with like a big D on his chest. Like he'll help you too.
Everybody will help you there. And they're cool. And they give back to the community a lot. And they love youth. Yes, they do a lot of shit, dude. They do a lot of stuff.
We're going to go golfing with Dan very, very soon. You need to raise your game, improve your game before I can take you out there, Cam. But
Andy,
keep working.
Let me know after you like you take me places. Yeah, Andy, wait, can you take me somewhere? Can you take me golfing? Get out of here.
Let me know after you finish
your
golf lessons, and maybe I'll take you with me.
Okay? I play with every single neighbor in my little street here yesterday, and they're just the coolest guys in the world, man. Yeah, I got pretty lucky with that.
Well, you should have invited me yesterday. I could have played with you.
I'm not inviting you to go golf, man. It's fucking embarrassing. I'm already embarrassing enough, and then no one's gonna take us. No one's gonna take us fucking seriously. They're gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm not listening to him anymore." They both suck. You need to be good at something. I can't. We both can't be shitty at one thing and be around people. Like, get good at something. God damn. All right, you ain't getting invited out. I mean, I could be shitty because I'm going to entertain them. You better be good right down the fucking pipe. Bring something.
Dude, I told you I'm great from like 125 yards out.
I don't give a fuck. How many times has that happened?
It's from the tee. But better than you. You're very unathletic, dude. Very unathletic. Yeah.
Coming from you.
Your feet are all over. You don't know how to shift your hips or anything. You don't have to do anything.
Tell me how to do things.
Your elbows. Tell me
how to be an athlete. Tell me how to be an athlete, will you?
My buddy is he's the handler for
another buddy I've never met. Another buddy I've never met. Go ahead.
He's the handler for Justin Timberlake. And they're going to be in Tahoe.
Fuck does that mean?
They're going to be in Tahoe for that celebrity pro-am. Remember, like we had Dan. What's his name?
Dan, the golfer, hockey player. Dan. God damn it! Dan Cleary. No, Dan.
Brody, what is it?
Fuck Dan. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Yep.
And he won the event.
I have a memory.
He doesn't play in that event anymore. But only 2 hockey players are participating in this year's event. Yeah, TJ Oshie's going to be out there, and Joe Pavelski. So you'll have those 2 guys out there. But this guy's staying in a house with Justin Timberlake. They get in the day before we'd leave.
Does he wipe his ass? Like, what do you mean, handler? Wipe his ass?
Handles all his PR stuff, dude. Okay. Like, big time job. Yeah, for Justin Timberlake. It's not a bad gig. All you need is one client. Like when you're a marketing guy and you
could be a bad gig.
Really?
Well, they
did. No, he's not, man. They did like a tequila business together. Like they're like,
oh, really?
Yeah. So
and he has all these like phantom friends that just never come around. It's very bizarre. They're all over the world except for St. Louis. It's very bizarre.
No, he lives here.
Oh, he does?
Which is I
tell him to come by sometime. I like to meet him.
Justin doesn't, but the other guy lives here. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Justin doesn't fucking live in St. Louis. Crazy.
Yeah.
Good God.
It's like more random people that like this live in St. Louis, dude.
Andy, I gotta piss like a fucking racehorse. Can we speed this up?
Daredevil hockey, baby. Daredevil hockey.
Fuck.
Skate lacerations, Cam, are the number 1 cause of emergency room visits among youth hockey players in the world. Okay? Yep. In the world. I mean, this is like real serious stuff here. So you want to get this compression-based layer designed with Kevlar cut-resistant fabric overlays that protect the vulnerable areas of the upper and lower bodies. I mean, I could read the script all I want, but I just want to like let people know. Like, throw the script out, Cam. Just tell the parents, tell the adult hockey players, just tell them why they need it.
Yeah, dude. Well, you don't get cut. Like it's especially with kids and they're falling over each other, man. The skates go everywhere. They got 2 weapons that they can't control. Like it's not worth not having it. It really isn't. You're protecting them everywhere else. You're spending the money to have them play. Protect their fucking vital. What is it? Is it organs? I guess
vital signs.
Vital.
Just protect them. Their arteries and stuff, dude.
Vital arteries. My bad. That's what it is. And they're on your arms. You got a couple over your body, man. And some of them, dude, they get exposed when you fall into the corner and you cut your wrist, dude. And it's a lot of times you don't even know you're cut. And you're bleeding all over the goddamn place, and that could scare a kid, man. And it could really hurt a kid. You get stitches like that in your wrist, and you can't move. I don't know. Just protect them. It doesn't cost that much money at all. You're spending money on equipment.
I always talk about the peace of mind, man. Now let your kid go out there and play, and then all of a sudden you can just watch little Johnny or Susie or whatever, and like you don't have to worry about it because they're protected with Daredevil hockey. So again, take your protection to the next level. Use that promo code Cam and Strick, all caps. You're going to save some big time money. Check it out. DaredevilHockey.com. Our boy Carlo Coliacovo all over that.
Damn right.
Daredevil hockey. All right, let's get to Guy Carbonneau. Guy. They used to like chant his name up there in
Guy
Montreal.
Carbonneau,
Guy.
you mean?
I knew a guy named Guy who was Canadian, who I grew up in the same neighborhood with, and he went by Guy. He didn't go by Guy. Yeah. Another friend.
Another friend that no one's even met before. Yeah, Guy. His name's Guy. But yeah, I used to think it was Guy Carbonneau all the fucking time. We're from Missouri.
Of course you did.
We don't know. We don't fucking know. I mean,
all right. Well, it's Guy Carbonneau, and he's with us here right now. Enjoy it. Episode 140 on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Hello.
Carbo.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, that's Cam.
Hey, that's
this
me,
is
Cam.
Andy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, man.
I have a deeper voice.
That's okay.
All right.
Hey, is this the blues legend right here, Guy Carbonneau, or what?
Well, I wouldn't say blues legends. Like I was there for half a year.
Oh, we remember. Hey, listen, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
What do you have going on today? You have golf today, or what? You're like in a golf league. I need to hear about this golf league.
I'm pretty much golf every day, so it's like it depends if I play mornings or afternoons.
Every day.
Well, pretty much. Not like I'd say 5-6 days a week.
So do you take it seriously?
On bad weeks.
He's in a league.
No, I know. So like you guys you take it extremely seriously. Is there you ever just go out there and just? I mean, are you walking the whole time? Are you in a cart? Like
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we try to walk every day. Like once in a while, if we get a little tournament and it gets full and everybody's riding, then you ride because you don't want to be by yourself. But most of the times we walk all the time.
Who you playing with? Like Chelios and Patrick Waugh? Like who's
the big boys?
Who's in your foursome today?
Nobody that you know, but Vinny Danfous is a member at our course. There was Stéphane Quintal that was there too, but he doesn't come too often.
He's watching hockey. He's got to watch.
Yeah.
He's got to watch.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's
Guy, I'm just curious because you play hockey all those years. Could you ever go back to playing hockey every day? I don't understand how people can play golf every single day.
Just getting into it. And
how do you become?
Because
How do you become that addicted to it?
Because as a hockey player, I was, you have competition and you like concentrations, and I just love the competition. It gives me something to do, fills up my day. I really enjoy it. I don't mind practicing, and so it's just. I can understand some people that don't like it because, it's a frustrating game, but I just enjoy the challenge of it, I think.
Yeah. And when you're good, it's a lot more fun.
I know.
You know, Andy.
Hey,
it's more fun, but it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people know that you're good then, and they expect you to be good when you're in a tournament with them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, we just hit record and we just go, this is all we do. We just have conversation just like this, Guy. Hey, we're more interested in your golf game, honestly. Yeah. I mean, although with you, maybe not because you had a great career and everything. So you were at the game last night, and I know that, or no, you weren't at the game last night. You were at Game 4, right?
No, that was Vegas. Yeah, I was there in Game 4.
But you watched the game, obviously, and you're watching it closely. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? I mean, you couldn't have seen this coming from Montreal, right?
Shock I'm probably not shocked, but surprised. I think unless you were a Montreal Canadian fan, which I am, but I'm also, I like to watch other teams and kind of in between. So with the season that they had, it was really hard to go and bet on them beating Toronto. Matter of fact, beating Winnipeg. And it was the same thing against Vegas. If you look at those three teams, maybe except Winnipeg, which kind of was really disappointed in them. But I think Toronto had a really good season. Vegas was, one of the best teams in the NHL. So, and the surprise of the way that the Montreal Canadiens were able to turn it around after Game 4, I think. After that, it was a completely different team, a team that even in the first 10, 12, 15 games of the season when they were scoring a lot, they were not playing like that. So, I think for me, kudos to the coaching staff and the players to be able to kind of, put everything on the line and turn it around. And right now they're looking extremely, extremely good. I watched the game last night and I don't know what they do to Vegas, but Vegas is not even close to what they were during the regular season and the first couple series.
No.
Not
I mean,
even-
the fact
not
that they
even
just
close.
beat Colorado, and we saw Colorado firsthand
Yeah.
working those games, and just like, you're just almost in awe. Like, you just think nobody's going to stop Colorado.
Yeah.
Like they just get a free pass, free ticket all the way to the Stanley Cup final. And then Vegas beats them. But I'm curious, man, like, because you were coaching Carey Price early in his career. His career's been interesting because he's had incredible seasons. He's gotten postseason recognition. And then he kind of fell off a little bit. The team wasn't very good. Now, all of a sudden, he's back to elite status. I don't know if he ever even left or fell off of that level. But, like, what really impresses you the most about him? Like, what makes this guy tick? What makes him so good? Because it looks like he's hardly even working out there, even though he's just basically shutting it down.
Compared to Fleury, at least, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of style that he has and the kind of character that he is. Like, he's a smooth talking, do his business. I think he's probably, I'm not sure if he's the best goalie, but he's definitely, style-wise, the most consistent. Like you said, like he doesn't look like he's working on the ice. He's always in really good position to make, not only the first save, but the second, the third, and fourth save. I think that's what makes him so good. But at some time in his career, I think he got frustrated. Maybe didn't show it, but I think he got frustrated with whatever happened on the ice and kind of went away from his style. And I think this year, it's like I always say, like, before you win, you have to learn how to lose. And it's the same thing as a player. I think I look at Montreal Canadiens this year, like I said, like they had a average season. They didn't have a really good start at the playoffs. And then for reason that I don't know, but they said, okay, enough is enough. Like this is how we're going to play. We're going to play hard. We're going to commit to this. And whoever's in front of us, move away. And I don't think Vegas has matched that level of commitment, which they had against Colorado.
Yeah, I hear him.
So, I think Carey, I think everybody's, that loves him say that he's the best goalie in the world. And then the other kind of people say, well, he's really good, but he hasn't won anything. So I think this year it's how he came in with a different attitude and say, I'm going to show everybody that I deserve to be in that class. And he looks extremely good.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? Andy and I do radio every single day, and we hear different perspectives on the game as a whole. And people complain about so many different things, Carbo. And the big topic is the refereeing and the difference between regular season and playoffs. And half the hockey fans, I think, are like, no, we love the old school, put the whistles away so a team like Montreal could squeak in, shut you down because you can get away with a little bit more. What's your take, man, on like the difference between playoff hockey and regular season? Should it be the same? Do you like it the way it is?
Well, I'm 61 years old. I've started playing in the NHL in 1982, and it's been like that since I was born. Like every year, we bitch about the referees.
Yep.
I mean, it's no different. I mean, I think there is I think there is a little difference in between the regular season. I think it is true that the referee doesn't want to get involved too much. By doing that, they do. But like, if you look at the game really closely, which I do, like I'm like I said, like if you sit in the Bell Center, you hear so many people bitching about the refereeing that they don't call on the Montreal Canadiens. But if you really look both ways, it's the same thing. Like Corey Perry is not an angel. Hey Weber's got more ropes than anybody that I know.
Gallagher.
I mean, it comes with respect. I think if they would call the book, we would play 3-on-3 for 45 minutes out of the game.
I know, man.
So I think they I like the other day, Sherratt hit Nosek cross check in the back of the head. They didn't call it, which kind of, it was okay. But then 2 minutes later, Weber, somebody does the same thing to Weber, and they don't call it.
No sec.
No sec, exactly. No sec does the same thing, and now it's like, oh my God, what's going on? It's unbelievable. Same thing with the punch of McNabb on Suzuki. A second before, Suzuki cross-checked him in the face. He just didn't hit him, but the gesture was there. He just didn't hit him. Then McNabb hit him with a little punch, and then everybody's saying like, "My God!" Like it's like so. Like if you look both sides, it's the same thing. I mean, I got frustrated too when I was playing because you want to pull for your team, but it's a really hard job. The game is so fast. Those guys are so big, and whatever we want it or not, that's what playoffs is all about. Like they want to win that Stanley Cup so bad. They're ready. They're willing to do anything they want. They have to. So, I mean,
I love it.
Hey, were you on the bench as coach when Cam ran Carey Price? Were you on the bench?
I didn't mean to.
No.
Okay.
If he was, I wouldn't.
I was just curious. I wanted to know if that was a penalty or not.
I talked to him. He got in my way.
Wow. I mean, it's like what was the series? I think the series just before when somebody got pushed, or I mean, those guys go to the net. Like I said, I mean, they're skating on a blade that's, I don't know, not that wide. So if they lose their balance. I mean, it's the same thing. I guess Kreider was like that. I mean, he likes to go to the net.
Josh Anderson.
Josh Anderson, like Brendan Gallagher, Corey Perry.
Oh yeah.
Every time they go into the net, there's something that's going to happen. I mean, I know once in a while they get cross-checked, but once in a while they just let themselves go because they want to get into the goalie's face. So, I mean, I don't want to blame Kreider, but I'm sure, he didn't do the effort right from the start to try to, miss him. And after that, like once you're gone, like you can't stop. So it's too late.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Guy. Like when you're in the Ring of Honor, I mean, could you imagine being in the Ring of Honor with the Montreal Canadiens, of every team? So you're in the Ring of Honor. So like when you go down to games, you have your own little parking spot. Like do they just tell you where to park?
No, I'm not. No, we're not there yet. There's too many guys.
He parks underneath, man.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. You park like 6 blocks away and walk. Right. I don't see that happening.
No. I mean, the team is doing a really great job with us. I mean, we have a
box.
No, we have an alumni room.
Okay.
Which is, and then we have some season tickets that the guys can call Reginald and have for the game. Like I have enough, I think that I can pretty much go to every game I want. Like if I, if that's not a problem, but like as we're well treated. Like, we call and they save a parking spot for us. It's a lot of fun.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. All right, break this down. Like your junior numbers.
Oh, God.
I mean, very impressive, Guy. I mean, I expected 100-point seasons from you in the NHL when you're putting up 182 in junior, but they turned you into like a defensive specialist, right? This two-way player.
He's a goal scorer.
Oh, yeah, you did score a lot of goals. But in junior, like, were you just having your way? And, like, explain how you slipped to the third round. Like, who's scouting? They didn't have scouts there in the Quebec League back then? Like, what is going on there, Guy?
Well, the year I was 18 years old, there was no 18-year-old draft. That was in 78. I can't remember why. And then I had a pretty good season. Then my last year in junior, like you saw, I had 182 points. Mm-hmm. But it was funny in those years. Like the Quebec Junior Major was kind of a second or third league. Like, it's like Ontario had big guys. They were easier to control. They were easier to mold. Like in Quebec, everybody scores goals. They can't play defense. It was kind of we had a bad rap, I think.
Perception.
And I was, and to say, like, I was 150 pounds at the time. So I wasn't really big. So I can understand, like, and for me, third round was 33rd. So it's today would be early second round.
Right.
Yeah, but
it's only 21.
Yeah, but weird back then. We had Dougie Gilmore, and who else do we have on Andy? Like a bunch of, monster guys. And they went through the same damn thing where the scouts like, well, you're too small. Well, I'm dominating now. I got big legs. I'm strong. Like, I just don't. I shake my head at that whole thing. It's crazy.
Well, times have changed, and I think you look at GMs and teams and over the years, and whoever wins the Stanley Cup, a lot of the teams, not all of them, but a few of the teams trying to mold, what you need. So I was reading an article on the Rangers yesterday, and I think they were looking at rebuilding, and Marc Bergevin didn't rebuild; he retooled the team. And I think, with the additions that they did this year with Anderson and Toffoli and Edmondson and Allen and Stahl at the end and Perry and those guys, it gives ideas to the other teams. I think you can retool it and you don't need 7 or 8 years. I think if you look down 5 years and more ago, the windows of winning was a little longer. Now your windows is short because, people, when you win, people want to get paid.
Yeah.
And you can't afford everybody. So, when you're ready, you look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, when they drafted Marner and they drafted Austin Matthews and they drafted all those guys, they were going to be like the next big thing. And now you look at them and they're struggling because, they have 3 or 4 guys that are getting paid really, really well. And they can't just win with those 4 guys. They have to have somebody around them. So, that when that window was open, you got to jump in it. And I think that's what Marc Bergevin saw last year in the bubble. They were lucky. I wouldn't say lucky, but when they opened the playoffs to 24 teams, you saw the results of it, and the next year he said, okay, maybe this is the year because Weber is not getting younger, Carey Price is not getting younger. I mean, you just can't keep waiting. You get it. Sometimes you just got to knock that door, and he did, and it's paying off right now.
All right, help us understand this because you mentioned Marc Bergevin, and we know Berge, pretty well. Obviously, played here in St. Louis. He's been around for a long time.
Love him.
Good dresser.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the flow now going. Yeah, I want to see what your hair looks like right now after quarantine. Hopefully, it looks like Bergevin. It's short.
No, it's way, way short.
But every year, like we just think, okay, is this guy going to get fired? Like the media, it just hounds this guy. Like they're relentless on him. Describe the media pressure in Montreal, because you've been there as a star player, captain, where you had to deal with the media all the time, French, English. It's not just one group of media. There's like 2 media sessions you have to do. You've been a head coach. I thought this guy was like going to get fired because everyone's just all over him. Now they love him. Like, explain the media there. And what's your take on Burge in terms of the job he's done?
Fans and media love winners. I mean, if you win, everybody's going to love you. I was with Guy Lafleur and Regent Howard and Pierre Bouchard yesterday, and we were talking about that. My thing is, it's not just Montreal. In Canada, hockey is a religion.
Yeah.
And you have some markets, which Boston, St. Louis is a huge hockey market, but you guys have other sports. You have baseball. You have you had football before. So the attention is not all on one team. Here in Canada, it's hockey. Like football, the CFL is way past. and we don't have baseball anymore except in Toronto. But like, you know, Matthews got hit on hard just because he lost against the Canadian. Here, like you said, it's a little different here because we have two languages. So it's, you know, you have TV, you have radio, you have papers, and it's double. But you know what? It is what it is. You know, and there's a reason why those guys make a lot of money. Is because of the attention that they give. They're, you know, if they work hard, you know, like I keep telling the guys, like, if you're a hockey player and you work hard all the time, which is what your job is, nobody's going to bitch you. Nobody's going to say anything about you. I mean, you're not going to win every year because nobody does. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so hard to win now. But like, if you work, they will love you. They love Chris Nyland here. They love Steve Beijing. They love Guy Carbonneau because, you know what? Because when we were on the ice, we worked. That's all. That's all they want.
I love that third person. I love the third person there. Hey, what was it like when you were captain though? And you know, like,
well, again, like for me, it was I was French, so both the two languages were not a problem for me. You know, there were some times where you're the face of the team, so you have to kind of take some of the responsibility. But I never saw that as a hurdle or, you know, really hard. I mean, whatever sports you play, especially in today, you have to be able to forget. Like if you know, you do something, you forget it, because if you don't, you're gonna go crazy. And you know, I've watched social media because my two daughters are on it, but I'm not on it. I don't understand athletes that are on social media.
Well,
I mean, it's the worst place for them to be.
You're right.
Twitter is.
Whatever.
Instagram,
whatever.
It's different though. Like you still have to. Like for me, I regret, and I couldn't do it because of Lou Lamoriello. And I probably would have said something stupid on Twitter. Don't get me wrong. But if you build your profile up so much where you have all these fans, you can monetize that afterwards. Now, most people make enough money where they don't have to worry about it. But if you don't, I look at it like that's what Andy and I do now. It's our social media helps us pay the bills.
I know, but like which hockey player doesn't make money anymore?
Mm-hmm. And I think what you're saying, Guy, what you're saying, and tell me if I'm wrong. You're saying that because listen, there's nothing that really good comes from it. Like if you're having success, you get too pumped up, and if you're struggling, then all of a sudden, like you become like a mental crazy man because you're just getting hounded, and you're getting, and all of a sudden that impacts your ability to focus and perform. Correct?
And for the 6 months or a year or a year and a half of good things that comes out of it, you say one bad thing.
Oh yeah.
And then you're done.
You're done, man.
You're done.
So
sir.
Absolutely
you're done because it's written there. So like that's the part that I don't get. Like, you know, it's funny to hear Robin Leonard the other day say, you know what, I sat in a room 2 hours before the game and watched the social media of everybody bitching after me, blah blah blah, and that gives me, you know. But like, I just don't get it. Like, build your brand. Like, what, what's Austin Matthews gonna come out of it more than the hell of 11 millions or whatever 12 million is making now? What, like, he might make a couple $100,000 if he builds whatever brand you want.
Right. I agree.
Or Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin. I mean, those guys have, you know, and then one thing happens and then you're, so I for me, that's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. And it's Twitter. Instagram, you just post pictures of yourself and everybody just pumps your tires up.
You know what he's saying.
I know exactly what he's saying. Yeah. And not to mention on Twitter too, Carbo, is like, you could fuck up 10 years ago and say something stupid, and somebody's going to go down in the archives and be like, remember this day when you're wasted at 3 o'clock in the morning.
But I mean, Instagram, you could put a video, you could say something on video, man. That's
it's mostly pictures and stuff.
I get
I'm
it.
just letting you know the difference.
Hey, all right, you mentioned the French and the English. Help us understand this. Okay, so I think you were coached by Bob Berry at one point, who was a head coach. He may have been the last English-speaking head coach. Like, I hear this all the time, that if you don't speak French, you could never be a head coach in Montreal. You could never be a manager in Montreal. And you've had a number of American captains. I mean, Max Pacioretty recently.
Yep.
You've had Brian Giunta, who we've had on the podcast before. Even Shea Weber right now, he's not American, but he's not French either. So so how important is that? Could a non-French speaking individual coach or be a GM in Montreal?
The answer is yes, as long as he makes an effort. Like, Bob Gainey was not speaking French before.
Yeah, it's your boy.
And he learned how to speak the years it was here. I think it's just about making an effort. Like, to coach would be a little harder if, because, the media is there every day. To have a translator, I think, the French people in Quebec, I think, they want it, and they deserve to have some answer in French. But, everybody can learn. I mean, I remember who's the guy that they put behind the coach behind the bench 5-6 years ago here in Montreal. I can't remember. He's just speaking English. He was an ex-player. Crawford?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mark Crawford?
Crawford. Yeah. Like, if he would have gone, when they announced that he was the coach, if he would have gone to the podium and read something in French, like, merci beaucoup, blah, 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 I'm happy to be here. I would do my best to learn to speak French in the next 2, 3, 5 years. I'm going to be here. Nobody would have said anything. They would have been happy, but never. So for me, that's all it is. I mean, everybody can learn. If you want to make an effort, if you don't, then I would rather have somebody that speaks French and English, so people can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, Cam can't speak English, so he'd have a hard time.
Ninth grade education.
If you can't speak French or English, you'd have a hard time in Montreal.
I do sign language.
Hey, you listen. You mentioned Bob Gainey. So, okay, what's your relationship like? You guys were teammates. He hires you as head coach. You work under him. You're a Jack Adams finalist. You have a lot of success. I think you guys finished first in the East. Correct me if I'm wrong. And when you were head coach, you guys lost in the second round of Philly. And then the following year, or maybe a year or two later, whatever, he's the guy who fires you. Like, how did that impact your relationship, and how long did it take to repair that? Like, what was that conversation like when he calls you in, a guy you've known forever since you're a young kid, and he's the one who's telling you you're being fired? Like, what was that like?
Well, it wasn't a call. Like, we were coming back from Dallas, and then I landed around noon or 1 o'clock, and I got home. And he called me and said he wanted to meet me. And so he came to my house. And he sat down for 2 minutes, told me that he was firing me. And I said, thank you, bye. That was it. Like, he left. And for over a year, maybe 2 years, we never really talked. I think there was some stuff between us. I'm not saying that I deserve but I think there was enough of a relationship there for a long time that I wish he would have told me the truth. I wish he would have told me, like, I'm not a good coach, or, whatever. But, so for a certain period of time, I kind of searching the reason, and things were just getting worse. So I stopped looking. I had the chance to talk to a lot of the guys that went through that called me. And after that, it was just the occasion to talk to him and meet him never really occurred a lot. But then last year, we had a couple conversations, Hall of Fame, the ceremony at the Bell Center. I think it's a little bit better now, but there was definitely a little separation there after the firing.
Yeah. So what do you think the reason was? I mean, I think you were 11 games over
I
500.
I have no idea still. I don't know. I think, that the team were about to be sold. They were maybe scared to not make the playoffs. And they were looking for, I don't know.
So you've never been a head coach since. I mean, have you been offered a job? Have you tried to get a job? Are you disappointed that you haven't gotten another opportunity? Like, where do you stand on that?
For 2 years, I still have 2 years left of my contract, 2.5 years left of my contract, so I couldn't go anywhere. And I started to work on TV at, I did some broadcasting. That went well. I think if I would have been a little, I wouldn't say younger, but if my needs would have been higher, I had a pretty good career. I made good money. I was not ready to move just to move. I think, to be honest, I would have had, I should have gone back to junior or the American League if I really wanted to be coach. Keep going. But I wasn't willing to do that because the broadcasting here at RDS was really good. It was fun. I had a blast. And then a couple times I called some GMs that were looking. They say, okay, thank you we'll look into that, but nothing really came out of it. So that was it. I just, I loved my time behind the bench. I had a lot of fun. I think I was like anybody. I was better at the end than I was at the beginning. You learn on the spot. You learn every chance you play a game. It was, I love to go to the rink and watch the videos and find tactics to do, the power play or the penalty killings or the 5-on-5 or the entries and things like that. That I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the working with the assistant that we had. And so, but at the end of the day, it's a small circle.
Yeah, who cares about that, by the way?
Really small.
Look,
really small.
You want to do videos still and travel? You're a pro golfer now. You're hanging out, and all you got to do is go on Zoom and do some RDS stuff or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy now, man. Kick your feet up and chill.
Well,
that's right.
Exactly. I'm at that time in my life that I'd like to go and spend some months in Florida, and so my kids are in Dallas. Both my daughters still live in Dallas, so I have a chance to go and see them once in a while, and I'm not complaining. I've had a really good life, and I'm still having a good life. So.
Time to talk a little bit about Daredevil Hockey, the ultimate in performance plus protection. Daredevil is a lightweight compression-based layer designed with Kevlar cut-resistant fabric overlays that protects all the vulnerable areas of the upper and lower body from skate lacerations. Get yours now. www.daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You'll save 25%. Now back to the interview. Let's go. All right, listen, when you first got to Montreal, I imagine you grew up a Montreal Canadiens fan. I mean, obviously you're a French kid,
Yeah.
And they had all that success winning all those cups. You knew who all these superstars were. What was it like walking into that dressing room?
Boy.
Were you in awe? Were you nervous? Were you scared? And who was the first legend that you gravitated towards who became a close friend of yours who really took you under their wing?
Well, I think everybody was really there. When I started my first training camp, I was 19 years old. And, when you come in those years, 79, when you come to training camp, you get 80 guys. There's 4 teams of 20 some guys and your number is 86. And now it's pretty normal. But in those years, if you had 84, 86, 78, there was no chance of you making the team.
Yeah. I had 59.
What about 55?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or in the 50s. Anything over the 40s, you had no chance.
Yep.
But I remember my first day in training camp, I walked in the room and my wingers were Guy Lafleur and Steve Shutt. And I swear, I don't think I touched the puck the whole practice it was pretty amazing. Like, Guy Lafleur was still at the time one of the best players in the NHL. We're scoring 60 goals a year. And we had Larry in the room and Bob Beanie and things like that. But what I really enjoy and I think made me a better person and a better hockey player is like almost every game, Jean Beliveau was there, Maurice Richard was there, Henri Richard was there. And they would come in the room after the games, 4 of those guys sitting at the table with us. So,
I can only imagine. Like, explain Guy Lafleur in Montreal. You guys are done with a game, and you guys go to dinner.
No bucket
on. Everybody knows what his face looks like. He knows his hair. Like, explain that scene. You walking into a restaurant with Guy Lafleur.
Well, it's just being anywhere in Canada. Like, we would travel, go play Calgary and Vancouver and Edmonton and Winnipeg in those years, and everywhere we went, like, Guy and Larry, everybody were after them. Like, he was not, like, he's not the guy that went out too much. Like, he didn't do a lot of those things with us, but once in a while we would go to a bar or restaurants, and it's just amazing. Everybody, the people that were around him and wanted to kind of shake his hands. And even to this day, like, he lives 5 minutes away from me here in Montreal. I still see him at the restaurants, and thank God now he's doing better from cancer. But he's a pretty amazing man. Like, he always put the people first, even before his family, as a matter of fact. So it was a lot of fun to be around him.
I can only imagine. What about Patrick Waugh as a young kid? Was he cocky in the locker room as a young kid? In practice, was he, you see him, he's so emotional all the damn time. Like, explain Patrick Waugh and how he was as a young kid.
Well, I think, for me, Patrick was a competitor. From day one, I think he always wanted to be, he's trying to be perfect and trying to be better. He was somebody that after a game, if you got 2 goal scorers or 3 goal scorers, you would look at them and say, okay, and then the next day in practice, he would say, okay, go over there and shoot there, because that's the way the guy scored the night before, just to make sure that he doesn't happen again. It was not, I would say, he was not a big talker early in his career. I think, but you can see that he wanted to win. He lived 2 minutes away from me here, so we used to travel together all the time. And he had pretty good eyes and pretty good sense of how the game was played and what would it. So we talked about that a lot in the car, and I would be the one that brought it up in the room, not him. I think later in his career, maybe he felt the need to kind of talk a little bit more, and I think that's how he got the bad rap. But he was never like that here in Montreal. But he's always had a lot of confidence in himself, though. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
you got to, man.
You better.
And you have to.
Damn right.
You have to. Yeah. It's that good.
Hey, which Stanley Cup was it that you won? That you guys partied with Pantera, and you threw the cup off of the roof of the drummer's house.
No.
It didn't make it into the pool. What's the story there?
Vinnie Paul's house?
Yes, Vinnie Paul. It wasn't the roof. It was the balcony.
Okay.
Balcony, and then the guy that was supposed to catch it didn't catch it.
Who was that?
Oh, did he die? Did it hit him in the head?
Was that Belfour or what?
I don't
Hully?
remember.
Was it Hully?
It was. Belfour was probably sleeping in the corner somewhere. But no, it doesn't swim. So,
and so how badly was it damaged?
Hey, it wasn't damaged at all. Oh, he just fell in the pool.
Oh, it fell.
I mean, we did that. We did that here in Montreal when we won. We had a party at Patrick Waugh's house. We took the bottom off the cup and wrote our name with a nail in it. There's like that thing has been damaged a lot more than falling in the pool. That was a big story.
wait.
Yeah, we try to write our name in with a nail inside the cup. I don't know if
They get pissed about that now, man. Like you can't. They follow you everywhere.
yeah.
Those guys, man.
Yes.
We locked them out of a room one time.
It's well watched now. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. You went through some crazy runs, like even like '93. Like this shit went just kind of fell in line for you guys, right? Like the big boys got beat by the Islanders. We had Glenn Healy talk about Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like,
that's right.
Explain that whole series, man. It was such an up and down roller coaster for you guys.
Well, I mean, we had a good season, but not a really great end of the season. And the same thing, like we knew, like Patrick was at ups and downs, and we had some good players, good veterans, good young kids, but again, same thing. Like I watched the Canadians, and that's what I was talking earlier. Like I think at one point, and Jacques Demers was always a huge believer in being the best and do this the right way, and that he made us believe that we're the best team in the NHL and that we can win the Stanley Cup, and it just connected at the right time. And I think that's what I see in the Canadians this year. Like like I said earlier, like they're not even close to what they were the whole year, and it's the same team. And like something happened, and like they play with confidence. They pass the puck like. I think all year they were scared to pass the puck. Now it's like they stick to stick and they make plays, and it looks like unbelievable. I think that's what happened in this. And then we had those overtime wins that made it even more surreal. But because you win 1, you win 2, you win 3, you win 4, and yes, you do have you have confidence. But again, like I like to go to the casino once in a while, and odds are a funny thing. So you always, after the 5th win, or 6th win, you say, okay, like maybe this is the night that we lose, and then we won another, then we get 7, and then it was crazy.
Hey, what's the story? Like, give me the real story here. Like, '93 Stanley Cup final playing against Wayne, and the Marty McSorley illegal stick, which, I mean, obviously impacted the series. But like, there's a story that goes behind the scenes there. Like, whose decision was it, and did you guys know something was up prior to even having the referee or the linesman, whoever it was, that checked it?
Well, the decisions were Jacques. I'm the one that went to him and told him about the stick. And like I told you, I know there's stories that says like our trainer went into their room. There was locks on every room, and like it's the same thing. But like if you remember at the forum, both teams were were on the same side, and both racks of sticks were right there. I mean, if they wanted to watch our sticks, I mean, all they have to do is turn their heads. But like in those years, and I'm seriously, like they had 6 or 7 guys. The curve on the stick today is ½ an inch. Yeah. In our days, which was like maybe I think they changed the rules 10 years ago, something like that. It was ¼ inch.
Right.
So if you had a big curve, it was easy to spot. Oh, and I was exactly, and so and I was really visual. And you get into playoffs, you always look. We had 6 or 7 guys on our team that had illegal sticks, but everybody had 1 or 2 legal sticks in the rack. And it was a rule that in the third period, if we're ahead, you change your stick. And the trainer made sure that everybody had their stick legal when we were in the third period.
Yep.
There was the same thing with the Kings, except like Luc Robitaille had an illegal stick. He changed. I think there was a couple guys that had the same thing. Marty didn't change his stick, and he was at the end of the game. We were losing. I mean, I feel bad. Like I met Wayne and I met Marty after, and yeah, they were upset. But like I told him, like, why did you all you had to do was change your sticks? Nobody would have said anything.
Yeah,
but even there, like, so that was the story. Like there was no cheating. It was just a call. He was there. It was just unfortunate that he was still on the ice at the time of the game with an illegal stick.
And you talked to him afterwards? I mean, how pissed
pissed
were they?
He was pissed. He was pissed. He said,
Barry was
he was
too.
cheap, and he was like, I understand him. I mean, you lose the game, and then that probably turned the series around, because if we were to lose this game, it would have been we would have been 0-2. It would have been tough to come back, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. No, we've had Barry on, we've had Wayne on talking about it. It's fun to go back and look at it. But you know what changed the series was you. Wayne had 4 points in that first game, dominated.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you got to shut his ass down. Like, what was your game plan going into 99? What'd you do? Were you mean to him? Were you just hovering? Like, how'd you do that?
You mean in 83, 93?
93, yes.
It was just like, I think Jacques had a game plan of putting Kurt Muller and Vinny Danfous against Wayne. Trying to go power against power, I think. Like you said, Wayne had a pretty good first game, and then I went to see Jacques after the next day, and I told him, listen, this is what I do. I've done that all my career, trying to shut down the best player on the other side. I think you should try to put my line against him, and so that would keep Kirk and Vinny free a little bit, and then put a little bit more offense on the board. And I think Jacques understood what I was trying to do. And so from that day, most of the time when we were able, our line was against Wayne. And it was just a good hard work. 3 guys and 5 guys with the 2 defensemen. And we, not that Vinny and Kirk couldn't play, but, they were on the ice more to score goals than defend. And that way they can do what they were like. For me to go on the series and not getting points, I didn't really care, as long as the other guy that I shadowing didn't get anything. That's the pleasure I had.
Well, define shadow. Okay, so like when you get on the ice, you see 99. Are you just focused on him the whole damn time? Like how do you balance that?
Well, I mean, I think it's all positioning and being smart. I think the thing with Wayne, he was not big. He was not really fast. He was not like, he was not Denis Savard, or he's like so. But he was really smart. Like he had a sixth sense on where to go, and that's what he wanted. Like he wanted you to get 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys on him, so somebody would be open. So it was more talking about that, trying not to get him started, trying to keep him away from the puck as much as possible. I mean, for me, I think where I had a lot of success, and like I said earlier, like I'm really visual. And so I had, it was not easy, but it was easier for me to kind of look at some guys and find their tendencies, because I think everybody has tendencies. They like to go on their forehand instead of their backhand. The guys like Gretzky and Lemieux and like the superstars, are harder, but they still have tendencies. And so that's how I approach it. Like I had a pretty good idea what he would like to do, so I was able to take him away from that part and make somebody else's works instead of him having all the puck on his stick all the time.
Cam and Strick podcast here for our boy Dan Bellman with Bellman.com.
Yeah, baby.
You need some new wheels? Why not get a Cadillac, a Buick, a GMC? Head out to Troy today. And again, don't forget about Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram right across the street.
No doubt.
Right there in Troy, Missouri. Visit them online. Check out their new selection, the pre-owned selection, the best service you will find anywhere in the country. Bellman.com. BeHLMANN.com. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
Now back to the interview. All right, so let me ask you this. You won 3 Selke trophies. I mean, now that we're talking about defensive forwards. And you're a Hall of Famer. You look at recent years, guys who have won it, though, like whether it's Bergeron, Kopitar, O'Reilly. I mean, all these guys put up big-time offensive numbers, too, to go along with that. Kopitar, I think, had 90-plus points a few years ago. And listen, some people were critical when you went into the Hall of Fame, Guy, saying, like, you're a defensive specialist, didn't put up a ton of points, shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Then you got Brendan Moore that's hanging out there right now. I think he had he played over 1,400 games, had over 1,000 points. He had put up a lot of numbers. Won 2 Selke trophies. Like, I'm curious, does he belong in the Hall of Fame? And what was your reaction like when you hear some of that criticism towards you? Did that bother you when you heard some of that?
Well, it bothered me. No, I think there was a lot of questions over the years, like, do I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, if you look at my numbers, they're not the greatest. But, I've never played with Guy Lafleur or, I wasn't playing like Patrice Bergeron. If he wasn't playing with Marchand or Pasternak, wouldn't get 70 points a year. Mm-hmm. I mean, those guys like Kopitar, like Brendan Moore, not that I didn't play with good players. I mean, Bob Gainey and Chris Madden were good players, but they were not offensive players. But, I have 13 trophies at home. So, like, I won 3 Stanley Cups. I won the 2 Presidents. I think for me, the 3 Selkies is what kind of makes it tilted my side. For 3 years, and in more than 3 years, because I was nominated for a lot more years. Like, for 3 years, I was the best at my position. So, I mean, we can debate it. There was a lot of people that were saying Bob Gainey didn't deserve it. I think, it is what it is. I mean, the times have changed. Specialties are more part of the game now. And, I think they should have a trophy for the best defensive defenseman.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Best defensive what? Center? Or
defenseman?
defenseman.
The defenseman.
Yeah.
I mean, the best defenseman now is like the guys that put most points. But, like,
totally agree.
Guys, there's we'll get there one day.
Who would that be?
Who
would that be right now?
The same guy who wins the Norris, Hedman.
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
Well,
It's
hard to debate that Hedman wouldn't win both of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But, like, listen, we've seen
stud.
years, though, like Mike Green and some of these guys who all of a sudden get into the Norris conversation. And listen, Chris Pronger's talked about this a lot,
we had him on
because there were a lot of years where he could have won the Norris, but, he was going up against Lidstrom, too.
Yeah. He wasn't happy about it, by the way.
Hey, but, it is what it is, man. I think they should, though, because that's how they vote the award. And you know what? I'll tell you this, too, with the Selke. You won't see a guy win the Selke either who doesn't put up big time offensive numbers the way people vote nowadays.
Not anymore.
Yep.
Not anymore. Yeah, exactly. And that's too bad. And more of I was happy to see Mark Stone this year because he's a winger.
Yeah.
Because over the years he's been a center pretty much for a long time, just because you're on the ice all the time for faceoffs and things like that. But there's other players on the ice that do a really, really good job that are overlooked just because they don't have the points on the board, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. We got a couple more here for you, man, and appreciate the time here, Carbo. But a 2-part question: the white skates, the blue tux.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? I like it, man. I like it. It's unique. It's different. You stick out. Like, what was that all about?
I don't know. Like, it just happens when I don't know. I think one of the guys here, like, we had a chance in Montreal to have all the skate manufacturers, and I used CCMs, and the guy we were talking a lot about, and then I saw those somewhere. And I said, this is what I want, but I want red, white, and blue. And on the skate, but just I don't know. It's just like, that's the way I am sometimes. Like, I didn't really care. So, but the guy said, no, I can't do it. Like, they wouldn't want me to do it. But that's when the blue blades were pretty popular. So I said, okay, put the whites and the blues on the skates. And that it just became that. Like, it was just something. I was trying to be different, maybe.
Yeah, dude.
And nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's good thing Andy Murray wasn't your coach.
Oh, he would have been shit.
He wouldn't have allowed that.
Well, or Lou Lamoriello.
Hey, how did Dallas?
Yeah, Lou
Lamoriello.
Oh, you can't even have a beer, Carbo. You know that.
I know. But I would have been okay with that one.
No shit.
Hey,
I love him.
Hey, how did Dallas get chosen to be the team to close down the Montreal Forum? Like, is it because
I don't know.
Gainey? I mean, that's amazing because you participated in the pregame or the ceremonial puck drop.
Yeah.
But the fact that it wasn't like Toronto or whatever, it was the Dallas Stars that got to do that, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know how it came all about, but like, you know, I think we were all looking at the schedules, and when we saw that, you know, when they announced the date, and that was, I'm sure that had something to do with it. I mean, we had myself, I think Craig Ludwig, I think Brian Strudlin and Mike Keane, Bob Gainey was a GM. I mean, we had a lot of guys that played here before, so I'm sure that had something to do. But it was an unbelievable moment to be on the ice with all those guys, and you know, Maurice Richard getting like a 14-minute ovation. it was crazy.
Hey, why did in '93? I saw a little clip, and you win the cup, you're the captain, and you didn't hold the cup up first. It kind of went around, and then you got it. Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I tell people, like, if I didn't have a chance to win it in '86, I would probably kept it to myself and not given it away at all. Yeah. But like, you know, I had the chance to have it, to host it in '86, and I think in '93, being a captain, you know, we had Denis Savard that came up with us, and Denis got injured in first round or second round, I think, in the playoffs, and was behind the bench. And you know, I think we traded Chelio to hopefully win the Stanley Cup with Denis, and he didn't have a chance, and we were talking a lot. We were pretty close, and I just, you know, when Bettman gave me the trophy, he was right there, and I just felt like he's been waiting for it for so long that I just didn't really think about it. I just gave it to him, and I had to wait my turn after.
What a good human being.
I know.
See, Andy, write that down for yourself.
Cam, you should learn that.
Holy
hey,
shit.
Before we get out of here, I got to ask you about your son-in-law, Brendan Morrow. Like, okay, and I know you've probably talked about this before, but he's your teammate in Dallas. Like, did he start dating your daughter when you guys were teammates? Like, what was that like inside the dressing room? And how many guys on the Stars roster were just giving it to you, Carbo? Like, tell me about that.
It wasn't me. I think it was more Brendan. It was funny, like Brendan got drafted the year before, I think, or 2 years before. He had a training camp, and then I think he came up like early November. I remember, like he started the season in the American League, and then he came up, I think, in November, like somewhere around there. And you know, we were playing golf. I think he had a girlfriend. My daughter had a boyfriend. And then, you know, the Christmas party. They talked to a little bit, and then the Super Bowl party, they talked a lot more. And after that, it was funny. Like at home, I heard his name a lot, and in the room, I heard my daughter's name a lot.
Oh boy!
So it was. I think he got abused a lot more than I did, because I think people, like, I'm pretty easy, but they know how serious I am about hockey, and like I'm like hard to approach. So I don't think people were willing to come to me and tell me things about my daughter. But like I at one point I went to see him and I said, listen, I know that you're pretty close to Anne-Marie. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad. You can. And I think 2 weeks later she moved.
Moved in with him?
Moved with him. Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot going on.
And how's he as a son-in-law? Like, what was that like, kind of following his career around a little bit after you retired?
He's great. Like, I had the chance to know him for 2-3 months before, you know, on the road, being at home, and he's a great person. He cares a lot. You know, he's, like I said, like he was an old school hockey player. Brendan should have played in the '80s. Yeah, he should have played in the '80s. But we still enjoy it. You know, we have a place in Idaho. We spent a part of the summer there, and we play golf together.
Idaho place?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
He's in Gaza. He's in Gaza Ranch.
He's in Gaza.
Yeah, he is in Gaza right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he's a handsome bugger. And your grandchildren are probably absolutely beautiful. I went out to dinner with you one time, by the way. Andy, you didn't even know. I went out to dinner with you
Yeah.
and him with Chaser. I was suspended in Dallas, and we all went out to dinner. You probably don't remember, but you were very, very nice to me, and I just wanted to let you know I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Hey, no, he was, and it's too bad he didn't get to 1,000 games. By the way, he retired at 991. Man, I mean, he couldn't play for 10 more games or what?
I don't know. Like his first year in the NHL, we lost in the final against Jersey.
Yeah.
And his last year in the NHL, he lost in the final with Tampa Bay. That was the only 2 times he went to the final. Never had the chance to win. So.
Wow.
But he had a great career. He has a gold medal, which I don't have.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
It is. Yeah,
He's
a cool cat.
It was good to get to know him here in St. Louis too. Hey,
Yeah,
all right, last thing for you.
Yeah.
All right, what happened? Give me your honest answer. Like, what happens here? Like, Dom Ducharme is he's the interim coach. He's not even like he hasn't been given the full-time title. And listen, it's too bad that he's sidelined right now with COVID. He's not behind the bench. And Luke Richardson is taking over, and like they're winning games. Like, what happens when he comes back? I mean, that could really disrupt things. I mean, do you turn it over to Richardson? Is this a difficult decision? Do we make too much of it? Like, what happens if they get to the final? This guy's in charge. Like, does the organization all of a sudden say, well, maybe this guy should be the head coach? Like,
Just keep everything the same.
give me your honest take on this.
Well, I think Dominique is pretty safe now. Again, same as Mark. I think they were at 1 win, 1 loss. Probably both guys losing their job.
Yeah.
If they lose to Toronto, it would talk differently. But I think Dominique did some really good job over the last couple of months. I think early he had a tough time because he didn't have a chance to practice a lot and bring the system that he wanted on. But as the season goes, and I think Luke is doing a great job, but Dominique is the one that started it, against Toronto and changed through the things. I thought it would be a little different to have a different guys or a different voice because Dominique has some ideas of how to manage the bench during a game, but Luke has the experience also, and he's doing a really good job. But I think when Dominique is ready to come back, he'll go back and do his job, and Luke will be happy to go behind the bench with his defenseman.
All right, good answer.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man, and congrats on making the Hall of Fame. I know we didn't talk a ton about the Hall of Fame, man,
I listened to their speech. It was great.
But you're a Hall of Famer.
It's still surreal to me.
I know.
It's still surreal to me with COVID. I haven't really had a chance to go around and enjoy it that much, but I have time.
Yeah. Well,
Go celebrate tonight,
and you'll get that. You'll get that. Hey, so all the best. Good luck with your golf too, man. And say hi to Brendan, man. And we really appreciate you doing this.
You're the man,
all
Guy.
the best to you.
You're
Thanks,
welcome. Anytime, guys.
See you, buddy.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, that was Guy Carbonneau, man. Great to have him with us, and appreciate what he had to say, dude. He gave some good insight, especially about how the game is played. Like, nothing's really changed. Everyone thinks like this is like the most absurd, worst officiating we've ever seen in the history of the NHL, but in reality, it's kind of what we've always
same
seen.
shit. It's actually a lot easier. It's a lot cleaner, to be honest with you. It's a lot cleaner. It's just getting cleaner and cleaner every year. It's just still hardcore, and that's what you want. It's just different than what everybody's used to especially during this regular season, where it's just kind of like doop 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 doop, another game against the same team, and now you get into the playoffs and like fuck everything, let's go. And so everybody's like, "What's going on? Why is this so mean? I'm writing a blog about this." And like, okay, whatever. So it's just the way it is, and if you don't like it, I don't know. They're probably not changing it.
Hey, if you could be a legend, Cam, with any organization in hockey, like,
Oh, good question, dude.
where would you want to be a legend?
Besides Jersey and St. Louis, of course.
And turn your phone off too, 'cause
That was my be on that. That was my bad, actually. I'd say, Montreal would probably be up there. Toronto would be up there, dude. You're going to make money after hockey, just fucking, just going to say hi to people and shit. I don't Chicago,
Carolina,
yeah, Phoenix. No, the big six, dude. The big six, of course, and then oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the big six probably only like Florida.
the original six. Is that what you call them?
The big six. Yeah, the big boys. No, Boston. And honestly, like,
oh
really,
yeah,
damn right.
Boston.
All of them. Boston, fucking sick too. Like, you're just guaranteed.
Rangers.
Right? I said, yeah, Rangers. Detroit. I don't know. I don't want to live in Detroit. No offense. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go.
I kind of don't. I wouldn't tell you have to live there, but
because I know what it's like to be a legend, Cam.
Yeah.
You know, like different organizations and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, you do,
you just
man.
gotta, you know.
Well, yeah, they love you everywhere, Andy.
They love you everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, we really can't comment because we're doing this before the game, you know, game one.
Yeah, I
So
know.
let's just hope we have a long series and we'll
Please.
get our reaction on the Stanley Cup final as we move along here, man.
And me and you, we should do some stuff too. Like, jump on
Yes.
this bad boy, clip it off, fucking we'll post shit. So we'll guys keep you updated, man. We got to do a little more of that kind of stuff so we get that. People are asking us about doing a little bit more.
And
especially
check out our merchandise too, man. I mean, people are still asking us about the Fight Ugly hoodies, which are still available at keepithandsome.com. But we've got all our new merchandise right now. CamandStrick.com. Click on the shop tab and like hook yourself up with the new hoodies and t-shirts and everything. Cam's been wearing these every single day.
I wear the same shit every day. It's so goddamn embarrassing sometimes because I'll see my neighbors and they're just classy people. Like their trash is even classy. Like my trash is like, ugh. And then they see me and I'm like, God damn it, I got this same fucking shirt on. And then they get embarrassed, Andy. Then I get embarrassed. You got to send me some more shit. You hoard all my shit.
Cam,
give me the fucking double XLs. You ain't wearing them. You're not even wearing the largest. Give me the fucking largest too.
I gave you.
You keep the small.
I gave you every XL.
You're hoarding my shit.
Came in the box.
You don't even know anybody who wears an XL, especially where you fucking live. None of those guys are fucking big. Give me all your big shit until Ty gets jacked. I mean, that's it. You ain't wearing it.
He's getting there.
Your fancy lad neighbors can't fit into that shit either. They don't work out. The fuck on. You're hoarding it.
Hoarding. Hoarders are like some sick ass people, man.
They are the weirdest, Andy. They're weird people.
I want to get rid of everything.
My billet family were kind of hoarders a little bit.
Were they?
It's like, what do you keep in that for? Usually older people, but there's some people that have a weird tick to where they're like, I need to keep everything, this, that. You walk in there, you see that show Hoarders who like just live in trash, man.
Oh my God.
You got a fucking problem, dude.
All right. We talked about it in the intro too, man. Let's hope we have some more news on the Chicago situation. Let's hope we hear from the league. Keep the pressure on the league, man. They got to say something. The Blackhawks have to say something.
Hey, I'll say this, dude. Not too many podcasts could like dive into Blackhawks, fucking earthquakes, some COVID shit to that. We bounce around. Bears, anything's fucking youth hockey, whatever. We dig into anything, whatever's big. We touch it. And I do have a lot of people that listen to this, and they're like, I like it when you guys just kind of bounce around because there's only so much hockey you can talk about too, and everybody else is kind of doing it. And we'll give our opinion on big stuff, but when we bounce around, man, people dig that. So that's kind of what we do, dude. So It is what it is.
That's right. All right. As always, the Cam and Strick podcast brought to you by Car Shield. Again, 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM, which is so embarrassing. I mean, it really is. I'm looking to maybe switch that.
Why don't you cry about it?
Maybe change that password. You'll save 10%, baby. Again, 800-857-2481. Everything we talk about, it's like peace of mind. You know, and this is like peace of mind too. You can drive your car and not have to worry if something goes down because you're protected. So structure the plan the way that you want it, man. You want a long-term plan, short-term plan. Just hook yourself up with Car Shield. Real hockey people.
I wish you had Car Shield for that fucking boat you're going to drive around that you're probably going to run into a fucking rock with or something. Don't be stupid.
Can I bring my phone on the water or no?
You're fucking right. You better bring your goddamn phone. What do you get into a goddamn jam? You fucking call people. Bring your phone, put it in a little lock. You're not getting water spilt on you. You got a big fucking boat, dude. No, the water's not coming in unless you're a dipshit. Don't be a dipshit. Now, if the waves are rocking you, man, you better fucking you better find a way to get out of that jam.
And my listeners have been paying attention as well. I appreciate all the follows that I've been getting on Instagram. They've really been stepping up for me, Cam.
Good, because you're almost passing my wife, Kate.
Hey, so everybody follow me on Instagram. Right when you hear this, just go to the Instagram and find the Real Strick Nasty and just follow me.
You should beg people. You should beg people to follow you.
Just follow me.
That's cool. Beg people to follow you. Good Lord. You see me put that little cameo.
I was going to talk about my cameo.
That was kind of cool, eh?
I was going to talk about
We're
my
not-
cameo.
You see all the messages? Like, that's not even all of them.
No.
They're pretty
That's
good. Eh?
I'm glad.
They
Dude,
love
you
it.
need to be doing that for the brand.
I do
dude. I'm
5
telling
minutes.
you.
I'm 5 minutes.
That's
I go
too long.
No,
That's
it's
too
not.
long.
They love it. No. It's not. They love it. They absolutely love it. I just go. Booze involved a lot of times. They like that, man. I bring the fucking heat, and it is what it is.
The only thing you need to work on, really, honestly, is your Facebook posts. Like they are just like I don't know what's going on. Hey, a company reached out to me, by the way, that I am now an ambassador for a dog food for Blay. Blay, by the way, is staying at the in-laws' house for a full week. This will be interesting to see how this goes. Because we're leaving town.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll see how this goes. But Blay is now going to start a new dog food. I'm going to wait till we come back so we don't have any.
Is it that stuff that they sent both of us? Where it's not like the hard. It's more like it looks kind of like a. I don't know. It's not.
No.
It looks a lot healthier than the hard dog food. A little like Pebbles.
I didn't get any. No, this is like dry dog food. I didn't get any food sent to me. No, this is like a company just like sent me a message. Would I want to be a? It's like there's no requirement for how often you have to post about it or anything, but they're giving me like free dog food for a year. And so I'll tell you about the dog food when we come back.
Well, they're gonna get a lot of that value with you posting on your Instagram.
Let's go.
They're gonna get a lot of value out of that.
We'll start doing some stories.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Hey, don't hate on my Instagram.
You jerk my shit. What are you talking about? You're reaching.
I'm new to the Instagram.
So am I. I started this a couple years ago.
If every one of my followers on Twitter would just switch over to Instagram, it'd be all good.
It doesn't work that way. Because they like you on Twitter because you give out fucking like an update on somebody. But people like you on Instagram because you look cool and you're doing cool things. You have cool pictures. You ain't there yet. Unless Ty is involved. But you overdo that.
I don't. Do I?
I can look at your Instagram right now and see how
Look
many
at
things.
it.
I mean, you got to change it up. You got to be meticulous.
I got my new Jordans too, dude. So that's that's pretty cool. That's
people
pretty
love
cool.
That. People love that.
And they're red and black, dude. These are originals, So
that's cool, man.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah. Keep talking about it. Good God. No one
Bellman.com,
cares.
man. They care about that.
Damn right.
Especially when I'm in a new Escalade, dude. They'll really care.
Yeah.
Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Yeah. You're just listen, when I talk about this, you just need to stop talking.
Dude, they are badass and they last forever.
Diesel?
Dude. Yes.
What a diesel for?
Because they go forever and they're powerful and they're fucking badass, dude. That's what I want. You get a shit kicking truck like that. I want a fat ass diesel. The thing lasts forever. I do.
Okay. Well, you get
the 99 Twin Cummings turbo diesel was one of the best engines ever made in Dodge Ram.
Yeah, you don't know anything. You don't know anything about these engines. You think you know? Like now you're a mechanic. Like,
no,
seriously.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I just know because I just read about it. I read about it. 99 turbo Cummings.
Could you ever be a mechanic?
No, I don't know.
My brain doesn't work like that, dude.
I don't know
how they
enough
do
about it. I'm okay on boats. Like if I need to get out of a jam, I gotta look at my engine and be like, this is it. But a car engine, I'm not there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like my Corvette and I fucked around with it and stuff. And I put new things on it and I did this. And it was a cool hobby for a while. Complete waste of money. But I didn't. I ended up just like wiping my Corvette down every day because I was so anal about anything touching it.
In your driveway? Enjoy it. That is so Hoosier.
Not my driveway. It's in my goddamn garage. I didn't put that in the driveway. You're fucking crazy.
Did you wash your car on the driveway? I mean, that's
you don't wash a Corvette. You wipe it down, brah. You don't wash a Corvette.
With what?
Like with like a nice bat. Oh yeah, you clean it off. You nice, very, very easy.
What do you wax it?
And then you take this little thing. You get all the water spots out because it's all black. You get all you shimmy the thing down. Then you take another dry towel and you just. All I did was wash it, or not wash it. Just wipe it down every day, and it was fun. But then I was so sick of driving it because I'd be behind a goddamn dump truck and all the rock pebbles would come out and ding up my car. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Then I got pulled over every 2 seconds. Done with that. I don't want to stick out when I'm driving.
No,
I just kind of want to blend in. I want to blend in.
But you can stick out, though, if you got that Bellman on your back of your car, a little decal.
Yeah, the one decal I wouldn't take off is it Bellman.
That gives you some real credibility right there. Check it out, Bellman.com, BEHLMANN.com. Dan Bellman, man. Instant credibility. Great hockey guy and the best inventory you'll find anywhere. Plus, if you have a used car, man, they will buy that used car from you and they'll buy it now. So take advantage of that with Bellman and Bellman.com. All right, Daredevil Hockey. DaredevilHockey.com. Go get it now. Get that protection. Take your game to the next level while being protected. This is what we do. We give you protection options and we give you peace of mind. This is what Daredevil Hockey provides, certainly from a hockey standpoint. You don't want to have a skate laceration. You don't want little Johnny or Susie out there skating, man, and all of a sudden slicing their tendon or their artery or whatever, which is very serious.
Them, man. Yeah.
Do not ruin them. Let them enjoy hockey and allow yourself to enjoy watching your kid play hockey because you're not worried about it.
Exactly.
DaredevilHockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. All caps. You're going to save a boatload of money through DaredevilHockey.com. Get that protection today. Again, skate lacerations are scary. These are cut-resistant fabric overlays. And it's real hockey gear too, man. Velcro for your socks and all that type of stuff. So anyway, this has been Guy Carbonneau. Everybody enjoy the Stanley Cup final, man. We appreciate the support as always. Go to camandstrick.com, buy some merchandise, take some pictures. I want to see some pictures on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever, Facebook, whatever it is. I want to see some of this new merchandise that you're wearing.
Absolutely.
I should point this out. When you see the prices on our website, that is in Canadian dollars. So if you're in the U.S., it's going to cost you less than what it actually says. I got to let people know that. It's in Canadian dollars.
It's kind of fucked up still with that kind of shit. It's all good, man.
Yeah. Because our company we're working with right now, Wingman, they're out of London, Ontario. So they're out of Ontario. So again, it's Canadian prices. So if it sounds like it's like, wow, this is kind of expensive, whatever, but you're paying Canadian. You're not paying the U.S. So take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And, if there's anybody that wants to team up with us, man, like this, that keeps this thing engine driving, man. All you sponsors that keep it driving. We're loyal. You're dealing with us and you have a good time, man. And we'll help you out. So just get in touch with us. Right. We got email. I got my social media. All this shit's open. You could message me any Instagram, the Facebook, the both Facebook accounts, the Twitter. It's all open. Website, Cam and Strick podcast. Download all that or like and follow all that kind of stuff, man. You know how the game is. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. But hey, we need to keep this engine driving. So if you're a company out there and want to team up, we're here, baby.
Yeah, message me. I'll get right back to you.
Actually. Yeah, Andy, message Andy or anything. Say hey to me, and we'll go back. Yeah. But business wise, do message Andy.
Yeah, and hit me up for Cameo too.
If you want to have fun with me, like and feel good about your, but business wise, go to Andy.
If you want to have fun, hang out and do things, and hit me up on Cameo because I'll be sure to. And actually, my Cameo Cam live from Tahoe.
That'd be cool. You just got to get somebody to like you and actually want to talk to you.
Who wants a cameo from the boat? Who wants a cameo on the boat?
I might buy one just to fuck off. Somebody will do it. I might talk about that. It's like, can somebody please help Andy out? He's in this beautiful, one of the most beautiful places in the world. This is perfect timing for to spend money on Andy. It needs to be the right setting. Everything needs to be perfect. So this is where it's at. So spend some money on him. Otherwise, if you want to get entertained, just do it on me.
All right. So hit me up on Cameo and follow me on Instagram as well.
Bag him.
All right. This has been Guy Carbonneau. Guy. They chant his name in Montreal. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, episode number 140. Thanks for all the support on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Love you guys.